video rapidly because the new character for Smash gets revealed tomorrow, October 5th, and I have some theories. So we know some information about the new character. I'm not really a big Smash player myself, but you'll see why I'm so interested in this in a second. So we know that October 5th is the new release. So what we know so far is that the new release comes out on October 5th, like I said before. Next, we know that, get this, there has been rumor, I don't know if it's completely verified, but I'm almost positive that Nintendo asked Disney for the rights to some, here we go, this is where it gets interesting, this is where I get interested, Kingdom Hearts music. Yes, they asked for the rights to Kingdom Hearts music to use on October 5th. So, this was before we knew that the new character was going to be released on that day. October 5th seemed like a big day and stuck out in our heads, and now that a character is coming out on that day, it kind of leads people to believe that the new character is...
I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
Sora! Yes, Sora. This is pretty exciting, and this would make me really interested in playing the game and seeing how he plays and what he's like, because that would just be so awesome. The next thing that they released about the character is that it's going to be a character from a third party that has never been used before for this game. So what that means is that it's a character that we haven't seen in Smash from a third party game. So it's not going to be a character from Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Tekken, maybe, but it won't be probably because they already have characters from those games. It won't be a Pokemon character. It's not going to be somebody from Final Fantasy either. So that's what leads me to believe that it is Kingdom Hearts related, or Devil May Cry. Haven't seen that yet. Another thing that we know is that it's going to be the last character release. So because it's the last release, I think it's going to be something big. They're going to go out with the bang, and I think it very well could be Sora. That makes me really excited because that would be so cool if the Master of the Keyblade was part of this game. So that's going to be my first guess, but I will not claim it as my own as it's been theorized before. There's also been imagery released of a picture of Sora in Smash. So they don't know if this is a leak of the character actually in the game or if it's just something that somebody made. However, it does look very authentic. It was released a while ago, and leaks tend to happen, you know. There's been Disney World leaks of line cues and Rise of the Resistance features that turned out to be true. So it may be true, this release, this might be a leak. So first guess, Sora. Second guess, which would be my actual guess, one that I haven't heard before, and it leads to the Kingdom Hearts theory, is that I think it could be King Mickey. This is an outside-of-the-box guess. I haven't heard it before, but King Mickey is a Kingdom Hearts character. You would need the music for it, and this wouldn't just be the regular Disney version of Mickey that you see, like, you know, in the Disney shorts and stuff like that. No, this would be King Mickey, exclusively from Kingdom Hearts. So he would be, you know, shadowy, he would have a weapon, he'd be really tough, and I think it would just be a really, really cool addition if they used King Mickey. So that is my personal guess. My next guess, and this is a little bit outside the box as well, but I think maybe it could be, wait for it, I think it could be Merlin. Yes, Merlin. He is a part of the Kingdom Hearts universe. He's also a Disney character. He's a magician. He's really cool. And I just think, who knows, you know, it could be him. Also with that, Axel's thrown in there only because I can see his fire rings being part of the Smash game, but I really doubt it's him. So that kind of bundles up the whole entire Kingdom Hearts universe and who I would think it would be from that. I have other theories. I know Devil May Cry is a very popular game. People really enjoy it. Dante, people really love him. He's very popular, and I can actually picture him in the game. I can imagine the way that he would play. I think he'd be a pretty cool addition. So could be him, that's another guess. And these are just two guesses that I've heard. Well, one guess I've heard is Rayman, so I really don't think it's him, but you know, it's out there. People have said Crash Bandicoot, I don't think it's Crash. And then one that I want to throw out there that's super random is Spyro. It would be really cool, so maybe it's him. So this is basically all the information we know, and the character comes out tomorrow. So I'm rapidly releasing this video in hopes that maybe one of my guesses, my main guest, King Mickey, is spot on.
Ariana and Sheena were the ones that really embraced me.
You know, people thought that Raquel and I made out at Coachella. This is the actual guy who made out with Raquel.
You gotta build that heart up and swell it up and then break it.
Hey, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about Vanderpump Rules. Stay tuned if you want to know my opinion. I'm a huge Vanderpump Rules fan. I've been watching it since season 1. I know all the different characters. I know all the drama. I love it so much, and I was gonna make a series where I talk about every single episode that comes out this season and give my opinions on it. And now the whole world has opinions about what's going on with Vanderpump. It's like super viral. Nobody expected this to happen. And so of course, I just have even more reason to get my opinions out there. So hopefully you guys check it out. This is my review and recap of Vanderpump Rules episode 7. Let me close this door. I've been writing down notes as I watch the episodes and just things that I noticed, and this was before the scandal. So I have like opinions before the scandal, and then I have opinions after the fact, knowing everything we know about Raquel and Sandoval, and just watching it with like a more you know, judgmental eye, kind of paying more attention to Raquel's behavior, Sandoval's behavior. And so my opinions have slightly changed, or I have a little bit more to say about the episodes now, but now that I have time, I'll go back and release the videos of each episode with my new opinion and the things I thought before. And some of them kind of coincide. Like, I was already thinking that Ariana and Sandoval looked like they were kind of dicey, because I remember in one of the beginning scenes, they're talking about how they don't get to spend that much time together, and Ariana wants to help Sandoval bring stuff to the bar, and she's like, do you want me to help you lift that? And he goes, sure.
Is there anything I can carry?
Sure.
Sure is like you don't really care.
And then she's like, can you say yes or no? Sure sounds like you don't care. And then he goes, sure. Like, again.
Say yes or no.
Sure.
And I was like, dude, this is so rude. Like, Sandoval's not even trying at this point to like make Ariana happy. He seems kind of sick of her. I don't know, it just was like rude, you know?
Charlotte's medication, you might have to get it refilled. We've been in a relationship together for 18 years, obviously a lot longer than me and Tom.
Why don't we just refill it like now?
Oh, so I do it.
So, also that whole scene of them buying a couch, I remember in the beginning seasons when they buy a couch together, and it's way different than that. I'm just saying.
Ooh, wow.
Here is the couch.
Wow, I do like this color.
I actually do really like this style.
Can I sit on it?
Yeah, let's give her a test drive.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, here, lay down right here.
Dude, what are you talking about? You had a couch. Yeah, you like to get it wrong like twice.
Oh, wait, come here. Come here. Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's not about knowing your budget. It's about knowing yourself.
I'm just gonna carry it into the U-Haul because I'm here to just say like you're killing it or you're up. We're adulting right now.
We are.
When you move it into the U-Haul, I'll just sit like
that's
this.
not gonna happen.
You're always so good to me.
Well, it's because I'm so damn happy. Let's go pick out a couch.
Oh, I thought you did.
Yeah, well, let's make it official.
Okay.
I'm gonna go pay for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
just chill here.
They seem like they're not in the best place.
You guys are so perfect together that you match outfits. Vomit.
Whenever I do see you, it's like You're coming, I'm going, that's it.
I couldn't meet me breakfast.
Voila.
Thank you.
You don't understand the feeling I have for Ariana. I tell her everything. You gotta pick up this couch.
What's the couch for?
It's for the...
What's the couch for?
It's for the Daily Mail party.
But never ever expected what happened. That's for sure. So the episode opens up, it's the continuation of Boys Night. Raquel just arrives and Sandoval is like, oh my gosh, what a surprise!
You good?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to run.
Why you talk to me? What the happened?
Oh my god. Okay. I was fine.
Why you talk to me? What the happened?
Oh my god. Okay. Young and fun and single, living my life. These girls like make me seem like I'm only chasing after guys that they're interested in. Well, because honestly, I would never trust you around my man. And I said, well, it's a good thing you don't have one.
And it seems so fake. Like, it kind of seems like they must have been texting or something beforehand. I don't know, it just seemed like he must have known she was coming. They say that the affair started, as in they had like intimate relations the night of Boys Night, but it seems to me from the way that he reacted so fake that they were texting and he knew she was coming, because why would he react like at all? Because if you think about it, this is Boys Night, this is Schwartz's night, since he's divorced, right? So Raquel is showing up as Schwartz's guest to Boys Night. Obviously, she's not there to see Sandoval. She's not there to see James. She must be there to see Schwartz, right? Because according to the storyline, we think that Schwartz and Raquel are kind of like having a little mingling going on. So she's there to see Schwartz, and Charlie comes along with her. Charlie is not a friend of Sandoval's. Charlie has nothing to do with anybody really. But Charlie and Raquel, they're like not super close to Sandoval. Raquel's kind of close to Ariana, but like they don't really have a relationship like that, you know? It's just uncalled for. Like it almost feels like they're trying to act really natural, like, whoa, what a shock. When really it's like Sandoval didn't really even need to react. Like she could have walked in with Charlie and Schwartz would be like, oh my god, what are you guys doing here? And Sandoval's like, wow. That's it. But instead Sandoval's the main one, like, whoa! So it just kind of is a little telling. And when she arrives, James is irritated because he told his girlfriend it was boys' night, no girls.
Guys' night! G-U-Y-S! Guys' night!
So he's like, of course, my ex is here, great. And he's really upset. And Sandoval goes to talk to him and console him. He's like, man, it doesn't matter, it's cool.
Where are you going? I didn't know this was happening. No, I know it's a lot.
My ex-fiance just walked in.
No, let's go out here for a second.
And it just seems like really messed up if you're actually hooking up with a girl or like you have something with her, but you're actually James's friend and you're talking to him and being there for him.
There's a lot of history behind me and James.
We were good friends.
We're supposed to be making music together.
I held that motherfucker in my arms when him and his girlfriend broke up.
He told me I'm like his best friend.
And during that time, he started pursuing Kristen, and they started sleeping together.
And it's like he completely stabbed me in the back. He's a douche.
It's like, why pretend to be James's friend and be there for him when this information of you hooking up with his ex, Raquel, it's gonna come out, and James is not gonna want to be friendly with you at that point. Like, if you're really his friend, tell him what you're doing or what you're thinking about doing, or don't be the one back there talking to him and trying to make him feel better when you're the one that's going to be affecting him in a couple months. Like, it's unreal. Like, you think, like, hindsight, you know? Like, why are you being friendly with James and being there for James knowing what you're about to do? But it just kind of seems like maybe he's not really planning on doing this with Raquel. It just kind of happened and there's no thought process behind it. Like, it's not malicious, him talking to James beforehand. Maybe he's really trying to be a friend of James, and then everything changes an hour later. But it's like, if you're a good friend, you would know not to do that because you're James's friend. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Aside from cheating on your obvious girlfriend, like the obvious issue, right? You would think, why would you do this to James? You're gonna look dumb while you're talking to him in the back and then doing this to him. But I just think he doesn't even think about it. Like, I don't know, it's just so, I don't think it's that malicious. I think he's just, he doesn't care, you know? He just pretends to be a caring friend, but he doesn't care. On the girls' trip at Lake Havasu or whatever, Lala, Katie, and Christina Kelly are still there doing their thing. They had met some guys. Lala invites the guy that she liked over, and they're all hanging out on the couch.
Forgot to mention, Katie's encouraging Lala to hook up with guys like she's been doing, which is contradictory to what she told Schwartz. It's like, are you hooking up with guys or are you just kissing them?
You're gonna have really excellent sex. I don't want her to miss out. I want to inspire some digging her. You should do it tonight. No. Oh my God. You could just hang out with the guy and Christina, no, he's not coming. We're gonna talk. I haven't had sex with somebody since. I'm so excited. It's gonna be a really exciting evening for you. Oh. His fine ass is here.
And Katie and Christina are like, well, we're gonna go to bed. And Lala's like, okay, let's go to bed. And she goes upstairs with the guy, and I guess they hook up.
Good night. We're going to bed. Good night. Hey, we're going upstairs. Oh, come on. Oh, time for bed. Don't laugh. You're making me nervous. I'm not making anyone nervous. You're making me nervous.
There's no phone in my
I cannot.
And this scene is like really awkward. Like, as soon as he walks in, they barely can hug and say hi to each other. Then they go upstairs right away. It's like, okay, girl, whatever. But it was kind of funny because when Katie and Christina are like, we're gonna go upstairs now, I thought they were gonna go upstairs and Lala and the guy were gonna stay talking, and we would watch them talking on camera and building something, and then they'd go upstairs too. Like, that'd be like normal. But no, like, Katie and the other girl are like, we're gonna go upstairs, and then Lala's like, let's go upstairs too, and she just, they're gone. It's like, okay, we didn't see anything about this guy or why you like him so much. We just saw him and then he leaves. Like, you could have at least had some conversation, like entertain us a little bit, you know?
Do you have a bee on your ear?
Yeah, on a honeycomb.
Yeah, hot. Good for you.
A lot of honey dripping over there.
Oh my God. You're making me nervous.
I get nervous when it's time to get service.
Yeah.
I get nervous when it's time to get service.
But whatever, she hooks up with the guy.
It's kind of making me hot right now.
Ew.
Let's pretend we don't know what Raquel did. They're talking smack about Raquel last episode, making out with Oliver right away. I know it's because they both liked him, but Lala gave her the okay. So they're like, oh my God, you made out with him, you're all over him. And then Lala hooks up with some guy like right away. Pop calling the kettle black. We see a scene of James and his girlfriend Allie. They get a tarot card reading, and Allie is super into horoscopes, which just validates my thoughts. Like, I love horoscope, I love tarot, but all these new fans that are into it, all these girls that have nothing else to talk about, that want to be educated in a subject that doesn't really take much to be educated in, like, you don't need to go to school for it, you can just pretty much blab and people will believe you. It just validates that, because this Allie girl doesn't know what she's talking about at all.
Your moon is in blah blah blah, and your rising.
Okay, Allie, great, awesome.
People that are actually into tarot and things like that, you can tell when they're like genuinely into it and they understand what they're talking about. And then you have this whole group of girls that just needed something to talk about, that think it's cool. They say like, yeah, oh my God, you're a Virgo. I know how Virgos are. Like, I know how Geminis are. And you'll say like, really? Like, how many Geminis do you know? Or like, how do you know? They'll be like, well, my mom's a Gemini. And you're like, okay, like personal experience. Like, do you know any other? Like, what about like Cancers or something? They're like, oh, I don't know, my mom's just a Gemini. Like, if you dig deeper, they don't really know much. But if you let them talk on and on and on for like 10-15 minutes about the one thing they looked up, they'll go on, you know? Annoying quality about her that she loves tarot, but whatever, she wants to make that her thing because she has no thing, you know? So they get a tarot reading, boring, awkward. All the scenes of James and his girl are awkward.
I'll put them on, but I'm just doing the dress first.
And I've kind of noticed, like, with the whole James situation, like, James is right about everything.
I feel like Raquel is kind of trying to get a rise out of me.
Like, he's like, Raquel's coming in, she's like stealing the group. He's right.
She might not be doing it directly, right? Because she never does. Cluster of negative energy, and I want nothing to do with it. I'm leaving.
Like, he sees Raquel as this person he wants to stay away from. He doesn't like her. She wants attention, and nobody else really sees that.
And oh, because it's like perfect Raquel and there's no consequences to her actions. I mean, let's point the finger at her for a second. Everyone wants to point the finger at me.
James is actually right, and like, he's been right about a lot of things.
She's happy, so she's not happy.
You know, at the end of the day, the truth comes out, bang, everything, bang. At the end of the day, the truth will come out.
It's just his delivery's not great. But it's funny that now that all the girls kind of hate Raquel too, they're starting to like James, because it's like a friend of my enemy is my friend, or whatever they say, and whatever, you know? So they're like liking James now, and I'm just gonna find it so hilarious now that we know what happened. I'm gonna find it so hilarious if James and Katie become friends, like if Katie wants to be friendly with James all of a sudden, because let's not forget, she's the one that got him fired. She couldn't stand him. He's always been so mean to Katie specifically, and Katie can never forgive anybody. She holds grudges like crazy. Like, Raquel hasn't even made out with your dude. You hate her, you know? Sheena mentioned Schwartz and Raquel making out. You hate her, you know?
Sheena, Raquel.
So I'm just gonna find it hilarious. The #1 top enemy, James Kennedy, if all of a sudden Katie wants to be friendly with James because he hates Raquel. That's gonna be pretty weird. And then we have Lisa meeting up with the Toms in the next scene to talk about the restaurant and what they're planning on doing with Schwartz and Sandy's. They decide to not take her offer of buying out Greg, and they want to figure it out, and Tom puts his foot down and says,
"We're opening on the 31st. That's it."
I don't care. You're opening on the 31st. I'm over it.
He seems super sure of himself, trying to be assertive, trying to be manly. It's like, okay, great, taking control while you're secretly doing the things you're doing. Awesome. Like, I wonder where you found the courage all of a sudden. Sheena and Brock, they have a scene together. We see them at their house. They have a schedule put together for the next 2 weeks. Their wedding is in 2 weeks, so they have this little like schedule of how they want to do things. It's like a cute little scene. Sheena mentions her friend Jamie here. Jamie is the girl that has a podcast now and is spilling all sorts of tea about Raquel and like how it really was and how everybody is and stuff. So there's some validation given to this Jamie person because Sheena mentions her. It's one of her bridesmaids, so it's a really good friend of Sheena's, and she's trying to book her room at the resort in Mexico for Sheena's wedding, and there's issues. It's all booked. It's all filled up. Now, at this point, Katie is not a bridesmaid. She is so angry about the thought or the mention of Schwartz and Raquel making out, and Sheena being the one that mentioned it, that she's opted out of being a bridesmaid, which I find so rude, by the way, because during her wedding, she actually brings it up in this season, like, you were my bridesmaid, Sheena. How can you do this to me? You were a bridesmaid. Do you not remember back when she was a bridesmaid? She was literally walking on eggshells, terrified, trying so hard not to piss anybody off because she didn't want to lose her privilege of being a bridesmaid.
So you mentioned to me about some things that just made me feel uncomfortable.
So I feel like literally I can't win. I tried to make things better between Stassi and Ariana, and that still wasn't good enough for Katie.
I'm sorry for like anything I've said that's out of line. I have felt you kind of like become distant, and I have been trying to figure out why.
And I don't like when we fight. I love you. I have said I'm sorry. It was tacky. It was classless. I'm sorry.
Oh. Like, she cared so much. She let you guys be so mean to her. There were so many times when you guys were like, I don't know if you can be a bridesmaid. I don't know, you're not really a good friend. Like, you held it over her for so long till you finally at the very end allowed her to be a bridesmaid. So don't over here be like, you were a bridesmaid. We're such good friends. Barely. She was barely a bridesmaid, okay? So anyways, Katie, of course, being the great friend she is and caring so much about the sanctity of being a bridesmaid, opts out of being a bridesmaid for Sheena, even though it's like, you're gonna know her in the next 4 years. This is an important thing. You should be a bridesmaid. She doesn't care. She's never cared about Sheena. So she opts out of being a bridesmaid, and so Sheena needs the room. Katie's already booked her room in the resort. There's no more extra rooms. Sheena's actual bridesmaid, Jamie, cannot book a room. So what would make sense? Sheena says, I'll give Katie the money for her room, give me the key, my bridesmaid can stay in that room. That makes sense, that's logical. So now she has to bring this up to Katie. We'll see how that goes for her in a little bit. So that's the scene of Sheena, and then we flash to next scene, which is Well, I'm just talking about like relevant things. So the next relevant thing is that Katie and Ariana get together at Ariana's house to talk about the sandwiches. So they're actually getting into the sandwich stuff. They meet up with somebody like an image consultant or whatever that kind of just helps them sell themselves because they're still looking for investors. They've decided on a place, and it's the place that's next to Vanderpump. So it's next to Sora, it's in the same street, and I think this is the only way that their sandwich shop is going to survive. Like, they're so lucky to find this location, because if anything, it's going to be like a Bravo celebrity situation. People are going to be like, let's hit Sir, Vanderpump's place, let's hit Pump, and then it's right there, like, oh, let's go hit Katie and Ariana's shop too, because we love Vanderpump and we love the whole scene. Like, if she had opened further away, an hour away, 30 minutes away, I don't know how well they would do, because I don't know if people would make the trip all the way over there. Or like Tom Tom as well. Let's go see Tom Tom. Oh, let's go see Katie and Ariana too. So the location is prime. It's perfect. It's literally, I think, what's going to save this business and actually make it flourish, in my opinion. So they talk about the sandwich place. Ariana invites Katie to her pool party that she's having. So cute. Pool party. Next we see Raquel and James have a conversation. It's at Sir. They have a conversation about the pool party. Raquel's like, oh, have you been invited to the pool party? Are you going? And James is like, oh, I haven't been invited. And then Raquel's like,
oh, Sandoval invited me.
I mean, I don't know if she's going to the pool party this week at Tom Sandoval's or not.
I haven't heard about the pool party though.
Well, you're invited. Tom Sandoval told me.
Oh, he did?
Tom Sandoval told me.
oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, if we didn't know what we know, this wouldn't matter. Who cares, right? But it's so crazy that she's hooking up with Sandoval. It's like, keep it to yourself. Don't bring up Sandoval. You know there's something shady going on behind the scenes with you and him. You don't want to draw attention to you and him. Don't bring it up. What does she do? Sandoval invited me to James.
I watched the episode once and I should have done a rewatch because Raquel did not say that, but it does sound like Sandoval's the one that invited her. And she said Sandoval's house, not Sandoval and Ariana.
It's like, why did you say that? Like, okay, Sandoval's the one inviting you. Like, Ariana's your good friend. Ariana invited Katie. You would think Ariana would send a text or invite everybody. Like, Ariana would invite Raquel. That makes sense. No, Sandoval invited Raquel. So what does that obviously make me think? When did he talk to you? When did he text you and invite you? Is there like a separate conversation going on where it's like, oh, Sandoval invites some people, Ariana invites some people, and you fell into the group of people, like Sandoval's people that got invited? It sounds like Sandoval invited you. When did you guys talk? Like, okay, they can text and have a friendship. Everybody's friends. Them texting is not that crazy. But just to think, you haven't invited James yet, who is your friend. It would be Sandoval's job to invite James. So it's not like he has texted all of his friends and sent them out invites, you know, because James doesn't have one. And James would be invited by Sandoval, not Ariana. So James has no invite, so it doesn't sound like Sandoval sent out invites to everybody and Raquel got one as well. No, it sounds like Raquel was singled out and invited by Sandoval. So that's kind of weird. It doesn't sound like you sent out texts to everybody. You must have invited her in person. It's just baffling to me. That was so weird that she would say that. And you're almost bragging to your ex. You would want to keep your relationship with Sandoval private. You want to keep the relationship secret, but you tell your ex, like you're rubbing it in his face or something.
Kick me out and bring Raquel in. That's weird.
I'm James Kennedy and I've been alive at this party for the past 18 years. Like, it's bullshit.
So maybe this dating Sandoval is like, it's gonna bother James the most if I date Sandoval. So like, this is why I'm going this way, because it does seem like she's trying to like bother James. Like, I've had this feeling like she's almost trying to copy him and like go in his footsteps when she's like, James is doing his own thing, I need to start doing me. No, I think you're doing the James. Like, you're having a crazy relationship with alcohol. I'm just saying, I think it's going to be a problem because she doesn't remember a lot of things she's done while she's drinking. Much like James, I think alcohol is going to prove to be a problem. She's running around reckless like James always does. She's moving on right away with people like James did. Like, I don't know. I just think she's doing things for James. And so dating Sandoval, maybe the reason that she's doing this is because it'll bother James the most. I don't know. Because why does she tell James, oh, I'm invited by Sandoval? To get a rise? I don't know. So she tells James she's invited, James is not. James is kind of feeling like, why is she taking over my friend group? I don't know, man. The next scene, Ariana and Katie are having a meal together, and I don't know if Lala's there, I don't remember, but Ariana invites them to the pool party. There's someone there that's her friend too, and he gets invited. It's kind of interesting because Ariana's extending the invite to everybody for the pool party. She extends the invite to this person that we've never really seen before on the show, and she extends him an invite. So it's like, why would you be inviting every single person and not have invited Raquel yet?
I'm having a pool party. Do you want to come? Oh, I'll be there in my thong, baby.
Or like, why would Sandoval be the one to invite Raquel when you're the one going around inviting everybody? But Raquel was invited by Sandoval first. So now we're gonna see the pool party. We see that Raquel and Sheena are getting ready together. That's kind of annoying and kind of funny, thinking that right now they can't even be 100 yards or 100 feet from each other. But yeah, they're getting ready together because they're good friends at this point. Then we get to this infamous pool party. Right away, Sheena's like, this is how you dress when you're single, because Raquel's like looking really sexy, and it's kind of just awkward. Everybody's like quiet.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
What's up? Oh my god, look at you guys. What's up?
Oh my god, look at you guys.
This is what you wear when you're single and go to a pool party.
You want a little shot ski?
And it's just kind of funny because we know what Raquel's doing, you know? And just the nerve of Raquel to be willing to come to this party where, like, you're coming to the home of Ariana and Sandoval. Like, you're walking into their territory, trying to look super sexy, like flaunting around. She's like taking all these pictures of herself, like posing, walking around, trying to look so cute and stuff.
Hey, Raquel.
She's so hot.
I'm being edged out and Raquel's just taking up all that space. So what happened?
Watching Raquel try to create. Watching Raquel.
Knowing you hooked up with your friend's dude, like you hooked up with the owner of the house. You know, like, and you're there like trotting around. The girlfriend's there, Ariana, the guy's there, Sandoval, you're in their home and you're trying to look super sexy. Like, it's so weird. It doesn't make sense. Like, how can you be so blatantly disrespectful and hurtful to somebody? Ariana's actually her friend, and you have no shame just being there, like, acting, you know, like, it's almost like she's posing by the pool and she's loving it, like, this is gonna be my house one day. Like, it's just weird vibes when you know what's going on. How are you so comfortable in this environment? You would think you'd be a little timid, a little like, no, she's so comfortable. I don't know, shy girl broke out of her shell, I guess. And the whole pool party, it's a lot of shit talking from different sides of the party. Sheena and Raquel are talking, Lala and Katie are talking, Ariana's kind of jumping between because she's trying to be like the mediator in the situation. Lala's pissed about Raquel saying the mistress comment. She expects an apology for that. Raquel's supposedly trying to like stand up to Lala, and Lala's just like, are you done? Are you done? Like, ugh, like she's not giving her a moment. Raquel says something in her confessional. She's like, I'm standing up to Lala, okay? It's like amazing.
The fact that I'm facing Lala Kent, I'm loving this new version of me. You literally like, oh my god, you get off, mistress, then she fights, and I cannot. I honestly feel like I've leveled up from this girls' trip.
Did she dab?
What the fuck was that?
And she almost says it like Lala's a character in a movie. I'm standing up to the Lala. Lala's just a person. She's just a person in your life. Like, it almost feels like she's a viewer of the show. And like, we all see Lala as like this fierce, like, beast, you know? She's such a big entity in the show. So like, she's standing up to that huge entity that is Lala, that we all know as Lala. Don't mess with Lala. But it's like, she's just a person. Like, the way you say in the confessional, like, I'm actually standing up to the Lala.
To Lala.
It's like, you should just say, I'm standing up for myself. I'm standing up to Lala. This is what I'm doing. I don't know. It just seems kind of weird. So anyways, during the party, a lot of shit talking from different sides of the party. And it's so crazy because you know, Raquel feels like this is her ultimate moment, standing up to Lala, like, you've done everything. And I think she finds courage to stand up to Lala because of what she's doing behind the scenes. Like, you don't even know who I am, girl. Like, you know nothing about what I do. I'm gonna call you a mistress while I'm playing the same type of games. Like, she's projecting so hard, it's insane.
Do you understand, like, how it has affected me emotionally, knowing that you guys have kept this secret from me for years?
But while her and Sheena are talking, Sheena's like, Lala just called you a weak bitch, because, you know, that's how she is. She just is retelling the information, retelling the worst part of the conversation, and she always has an excuse for it. Like, well, I want to tell my friend because she's my friend and I'm being there for her. You said it and it wasn't negative, but I was just retelling, you know, like, whatever, who cares? Sheena's Sheena.
Oh, she said you're weak. She just told me that. She's not weak. I think Lala's pathetic.
And Raquel, this moment is like literally eerie. She's like leading, looking sexy, and then she's like, obviously I'm not a weak bitch.
Obviously I'm not a weak bitch. I agree.
Obviously I'm not a weak bitch.
I agree.
It's like, whoa. She's like,
Obviously I'm not a weak bitch.
whoa, girl, that's just so crazy. Drop the mic. Like, yeah, okay, obviously you're not a weak bitch. Like, we'll remember this when the scandal comes out and everybody's hating on you and saying all sorts of things about you, that, like, you're not Bambi anymore. You're not a weak bitch. Okay, registered. I understand. It's gone in there. Got it. Not a weak bitch. Like, that moment was so creepy. Like, obviously I'm not a weak bitch. They're posing at the pool of the guy that she just hooked up with and his girl. Like, oh my gosh.
You're just a bitch, huh? Not a weak bitch, just a bitch. Get it right.
Anyways, and then Sheena confronts Katie about the room, and Katie is so unreasonable. Like, you do not do yourself any favors by acting like this. You're so immature.
You don't want to be in Mexico to support Brock and I. Stay at a different resort.
Well, I'm gonna go to Mexico, and it's her birthday that was.
This negative energy I don't want on a very special day in my life.
I'm entitled to go.
Then stay at a different resort. I Venmo you $1,000 right now.
I don't.
So don't say it's about the money.
You're just being a bitch, Katie.
Okay. And she doesn't give a what I want. I don't want her energy around me.
You would think in the moment, like, if I know I'm on TV, in the moment, I'm like, okay, I'm looking crazy. This is not going to look in my favor. I better say something else, even if I don't feel it. You know, genuinely, that's probably what somebody would do. Like, oh, I'm being crazy about this. I'm holding on too hard. Like, let me stop. I might still be mad, and I might still want to hold on to this and cut everybody's heads off. But you know what? I'm going to act reasonable. I'm on TV.
What if we just say, what's your price? What if?
No.
No, what's your price?
No, we're going to Mexico. That's what's happening. That's just what's happening.
No, she has no stop. Like, she's angry, she's drinking, obviously, she's in this mode, she's so stubborn, and she just cannot get her head out of it. She has no good reason for wanting to go to Mexico. She's like,
I'm going to Mexico anyway.
Sheena's like,
I don't want you there.
you're gonna give me a bad vibe. Just like Katie had so many demands during her wedding. You would think Katie would be understanding. You were a bride. Katie had so many demands.
I'm not begging anyone to come.
Bobby, let's try to have positive energy. Bobby, let's
She said that. She said that though. You don't want to be surrounded by such negativity. This negative energy I don't want on a very special day in my life. When this is supposed to be
Notice she says the same thing Sheena's saying now, and this is an event leading to her wedding.
an event that's important leading up to our marriage.
I can't handle someone that has any sort of negativity surrounding something that's supposed to be a really amazing time.
I don't have to think about that. I gotta figure out what kind of food I want. I don't have time to think about Ariana's dumb feelings.
But she thinks it's okay for her to still go to Mexico and stay in the same resort as the wedding is going on. Sheena's like,
I just don't want your energy there.
and Katie's like,
It's not like I'm gonna be there on the balcony with Christina staring at you.
flash to, she's literally on the balcony with binoculars staring at her.
We aren't gonna be like with binoculars, like, we have really good seats. What if they can see it?
And they have a clear view of Sheena, and Sheena has a clear view of Katie. So great, Sheena gets to see a hater on the balcony as she literally walks down the aisle, which she did not want. That is so mean. Like, Katie is such a bully. And why? Sheena talked about Schwartz and Raquel making out, which did not happen, but Sheena planted the seed in Raquel's head, so now she needs to be punished. No, she doesn't deserve this. You shouldn't try to ruin her wedding because she did one thing to upset you. That's not how it works. Like, Katie is scary. She literally is the kind of person that punishes people. Why is she doing this? She is punishing her. Like me, I might be mad, might be pissed. Why would you do that? That's my ex, whatever. And you know, maybe when I have another event, like the vacation at Havasu, I might not invite you because I'm mad. There's my punishment. No, she's gonna punish her the whole season. She's gonna ruin her best moment of her life, her wedding. She's gonna try her best to ruin that because Sheena needs to be punished. Like, that is so mean and wrong, okay? Like, Katie is so mean, and Katie's like, I want to go to Mexico. I should be allowed to go to Mexico. Me and my friend, it's her birthday. We want to go to Mexico, me and Christina. Okay, go stay in another hotel. Why do you want to be there with Sheena? Go stay in another hotel. Katie's like, you don't own the resort. Of course she doesn't, but she needs the room. It would be courteous of you to give her the room. It's the least you can do. You can still go to Mexico. She doesn't own Mexico. You can still go with your friend and have a great time. But no, you want to be in it and you want to torture Sheena. It is so mean. I have one thing Sheena wants, the room. And I'm going to hold on to this tooth and nail and try my best with this one little piece that I have to ruin her day. It is so mean. And Lala, of course, knows it's unreasonable and mean. And Lala tells it like it is, right? Tell Katie she's being crazy. Tell Katie, bro, stay in another hotel. It's cool. Give her the room. No. Lala is encouraging this bad behavior. Like, well, you know, that's what she gets. Like, she said to make out with Schwartz, so you should be allowed to go to Mexico and stay in the resort. There you go. That's not even. She already disinvited her from Lake Havasu. That was getting even. No, you're just being so mean. And Lala, of course, is excusing it. And Schwartz goes up to Katie and has like the most genuine conversation with her. Like, come on, dude, come on. She won't let go. She's like, no, She's acting like the way she used to act when they were married. Same attitude. And like running away, expecting him to chase after her. Like, he's not married to you. He doesn't have to do that. That's the solution to everything with Katie and Schwartz. You are divorced. Get that in your head. You are divorced. So Schwartz actually tells Katie, like, you were being so emotionally entitled. And usually everything he says is like, come on, bub. Even when he starts talking to her, bub, what will you do? Come on. He has this little like, But when he says that one thing to her,
You're being so emotionally entitled.
it's just so serious.
There's a solution. There's a beautiful resort.
Yeah, and have their guests go book that.
Oh, this is objectively out of line. You're in the wrong here.
No, I'm not. What if I do whatever the I want to do? So sad.
You gotta stop being so emotionally entitled. You gotta stop being so emotionally entitled.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. Like, she is. And she cannot accept honesty. She can never accept something and take it in and be like, okay, maybe I am. No. And in the confessional, she's like, you've never been on my side. You've never been there for me. Now that we're divorced, I thought maybe, it's like, it doesn't even make sense. You've never been there for me. We were married. You never took my side. Now that we're divorced, I thought maybe he would have learned. But I guess that's just like what he does. Or I guess it's just a Katie thing. Like, he doesn't care about me.
Schwartz taking everyone else's side over me, the pressure of having to defend his wife was gone.
Why would it be better now?
I guess it's not a wife thing, it's a Katie thing.
The fuck?
Stop. Hey, whatever. Come on, dude.
Stop.
No, but
Stop.
Stop trying to be a victim. You're wrong, and he's letting you know. People are allowed to let you know. When we were married, he wouldn't stand up for me, but I thought now that we're divorced, he would stand up for me. What? It doesn't even make any sense. The solution to every one of her issues is, Katie, you are divorced.
You are divorced.
Stop expecting these behaviors out of people. Stop expecting people to act, behave, talk the way you want them to.
You are divorced.
He's finally his own person, girl. Okay? And you are still the same person. It's a Katie thing. It's always been a Katie thing. You've always acted outrageous and been so mean to people, and he's always tried to tell you. And you step all over him too.
Sorry, it's what it is.
It was pretty intense, and Raquel, throughout the pool party, she's like posing and looking really cute, super awkward. Oh yeah, and Ariana's talking to Lala, and she's like, come on, can't we try to forgive her? Can't we try to be cool? Like, you guys are making fun of her for the galaxy lights. And Lala's like, oh my god, we were not making fun of her. We love the lights. It's not about the lights. We love the lights. And it kind of reminded me of the pasta with Raquel. It's not about the pasta. All I said is we ate all her pasta and it was great. You were making fun of her about the pasta. You were making fun of her about the galaxy lights and listening to Taylor Swift. Let's be honest, okay?
I wish you were there. Would you guys have, like, made fun of me if I was, like, all about the galaxy lights?
Kelly was making fun of my galaxy lights.
Oh, we all loved it. That's what she's not understanding.
I literally said that Raquel said, "Do you want some of my pasta?" It was devoured
We're talking
by
about
the
the
time
damn
she
pasta.
Are you really saying that because I told you I ate her
Honey,
pasta? I told you that I ate Raquel's pasta, and that's how you come for me? What's wrong
was
with
a
you?
dig.
It was a joke. I told you I had a bite of her pasta, and then the whole thing was devoured.
Get over the damn pasta. Read between the f***ing lines. It ain't about the pasta.
It's not about the pasta.
It's all over the ceiling. The whole room was covered in lights.
What lights? Is she gonna murder us tonight?
I just wish Lala, she acts certain ways, and then when she's confronted, she's like, it's like, if you're so genuine and you tell it like it is, tell it like it is. Say, yeah, she was being freaking weird. It was 3 a.m. She spilled food all over my bed. Instead of going to sleep, if you're staying with somebody and at 3 a.m. when we're all gonna crash, she's in the room and you see all these weird club lights, laser lights going on, and you hear music full blast, it's freaking weird. That's it. Own what you're saying. But no, she's like, we liked the lights to Ariana. We loved our pasta too. It's just the same vibes. Like, you're the same chick. Always have been. By the way, you've always hated Raquel, and it's been like for no rational reason. Because she's dumb. Allie's just as dumb, and you're so nice to her. But I digress. So Ariana's like,
what if I had lights?
Like, I wouldn't want to be on that trip. Being like, would you make fun of me?
I think you guys should talk. Let's just, like, no more. Katie, Lala, and Christina gave the mean girl treatment to Raquel. I'm not down with, like, the mistress comment. There is some unresolved about the you and James stuff. We moved on.
And it's so sad that Ariana's actually defending Raquel and being a good friend, considering what Raquel's doing to her. Ariana's the mediator between these two groups. Sheena, Raquel, Schwartz, Katie, Lala, you know, she's the mediator. She's the one that can slide swiftly between the two groups. And it's just crazy. She's the one defending Raquel in this situation.
Do you really feel like you and Katie just never even had that kind of friendship?
No, like, honestly, Ariana and Sheena were the ones that really embraced me into this group and have been there for me since day one. So, like, I know who my true friends are.
Right.
I know who my true friends are.
Right.
And Katie is not one of them. Do I want to pursue possibly something with Schwartz, who I do admire,
Right.
or pursue a friendship with Katie, someone who's never been that welcoming to me, someone who I'm not really even interested in being friends with?
Yeah.
Ariana's actually the person that's defending Raquel. Crazy, considering like what Raquel's doing. And then Tom goes over there and Tom is like,
Katie, you're a horrible person. Lala, you've always been mean to Raquel since the beginning. Like, how do you think she feels? Like, you do this all the time.
of course, and it's like, wow, Sandoval, you really seem to know exactly how Raquel feels, huh?
Katie, here's the thing with you. If somebody doesn't have your exact perspective,
Tom, I'm walking away.
We're not doing that today?
Notice how Tom doesn't chase Ariana but defends Raquel.
Girl, put a thought together. I know you can do it. Girl, Lala literally
Jesus. I can't unsee the f***ing bully that you were to her. For no reason. You literally flushed your wow.
Now it looks like they're arguing together as a couple as Raquel gets time to gather her
She
thoughts.
slept with James while we were together.
You had moved on from that.
She has not. She just got this information 2 weeks ago.
That's pretty interesting. Like, yeah, you are the guy that steps up and starts yelling and getting crazy, and you don't like Katie, and you don't like Lala's personality either, but just the fact that he's defending Raquel so hardcore, like, emotionally, like, you guys are like this, like, it's like, wow. You really know how she feels. It sounds like she had a moment sitting next to you, you know, you guys have had a conversation intimately, you know, late night, sitting next to you with her legs on you, telling you how she feels. Like, you really know to a T exactly what Raquel's feeling right now. Interesting. Just interesting. Ariana walks away like, I don't want this to be you going after all the girls, so I'm walking away. If you stayed there, it wouldn't look like he's going after all the girls, because you would just be on your dude's side like you guys usually are, but there's just a divide between them. Like, you can tell, you know, like, Ariana's sick of his games and his little attitude, and he's not appeasing her at all either. Like, when she walks off, he's like, he's not like babe and going over to her. Like, no, it's weird. Sandoval's like intently, vigorously, ferociously defending Raquel, and it is super weird, and it is super rude and hurtful considering they're hooking up at this point. Like, how can you, I don't know. He's wearing a lightning bolt necklace. He's been wearing that the whole season, but I think it starts to mean something once they hook up. I think it became a symbol of their relationship when they hooked up and he had it, and maybe she was like, oh, I love this necklace, and he's like,
now I'll think of you when I wear it.
It became symbolic of their relationship. So I don't see Sandoval wearing something he doesn't love for himself. Like, I see him wearing something he loves and then making it their symbol. It's something he already wore and loved all the time, you know? Like, so I think, yeah, like at this point he's wearing the lightning bolts. And that's everything. That's a recap of episode 7, so we'll see what goes down. Charlie is just trying so hard to be relevant, and she wants to like slander everybody in the cast. It's like, do your thing, Charlie. Like, try to get a little more views because, you know, you're not really a regular on the show anymore. And she's trying to be Raquel's friend, I guess, the whole time. But it's gonna bite her in the ass. She started off as Sheena's friend, and she talked shit about Sheena, like, oh, he hung my TV, about Brock hanging her TV and it falling, stuff like that. So she moved on to Raquel. Charlie's annoying to me. I was just thinking about it. If you want to say Raquel is like calculated, because if you think about it, like, she's become the main girl of the show. Like, nobody else, except Charlie, but nobody else works at SUR anymore. It started off with these waitresses, Lisa Vanderpump's waitresses, and nobody else works there anymore. Like, everybody else has moved on. So if you think about it, Raquel in the beginning is shown, like, taking shots in the back, secretly, being late to her shift. Like, she's the new main girl. You know what I mean? And, like, I think maybe, like, you might think, I'm an extension. I'm one off of the main cast. Like, I'm James's ex-girlfriend now. I'm not part of the main crew. I'm once removed. Like, I'm James's ex. There's a chance that you might get booted off if you're not entertaining enough. You're not the main people, you know? So you think maybe having this little thing with Schwartz is gonna keep her relevant. If you're thinking about doing stuff for TV, like, it's gonna keep you relevant. We're gonna keep talking about you, so that's a good thing that works for you. You don't like Katie that much anyway. It's not like you're losing something. Lala's always hated you. Katie and Lala are best friends. They do everything together. So it's like losing Katie and Lala to be relevant and hang out and flirt with Schwartz. It's not bad for the show. And you get to keep a main residency with the main cast because you're hooking up with one of the main guys. So, okay, fine, I can see that being calculated. Let me hang out with Schwartz a little, get myself relevant, be main part of the group on every episode, like a lot of scenes because they want to know what the hell I'm doing, you know. Now I have the restaurant scenes and I have the short scenes, you know, like I'm poppin'. So I can see that being for the show. But then you think about getting with Sandoval. How do I stay on the show? Like, well, I mean, I could hook up with one of the other main guys of the show. That will keep me going. Sandoval. But the thing is, wouldn't you think about it? Like, how are you going to stay in the group? Either you have to keep dating Sandoval and stay with him, but then the thing is, obviously everybody's going to get rid of Sandoval. They're going to be like, we don't want to deal with you. Like, Ariana's going to cut it with Sandoval. Then you have Katie, Lala, Ariana that don't want to deal with Sandoval. Like, Schwartz is going to have to pick a side. But, like, majority rules. Like, basically, you guys are going to be isolated and kicked out of the group. Like, this is not a way to keep climbing up the ladders and stay relevant. Like, if you hook up with Sandoval, you two will be isolated out of the group, and there you go, you lost. All your Jenga pieces, like, the tower fell. How are you gonna keep climbing, you know? So, like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, Ariana was your only friend.
With James plus Allie plus Peter, that's a lot. I'm actually gonna be under a lot of stress tonight. Just check in on me. Yeah, I will.
Why would you do something that's gonna make Ariana hate you and go on with the girls that hate you? And Sheena's gonna move on with them too, and you lost everything. You flew too close to the sun. If I were trying to think of this calculated and try to stay on the show, I'd rather hook up with Ariana. Because if you hook up with Ariana, she loves you, she's there for you. You hook up with her, she might come to bat even harder for you against the other girls because she really cares about you now. So you might gain her support even more. I would be trying to stay in that group and keep those people happy if it's TV related. I wouldn't go and hook up with Sandoval. What is that going to do for you? So it just, makes me think, like, you're smart, you're thinking about what you're doing, but maybe it's all to hurt James. Or my boyfriend was saying, like, she's a fame whore. It looks like she just loves being on TV.
If she truly is a fame whore social climber, it is supported by her dating Nima from Shahs of Sunset before the show was canceled and trying to get with Garcelle's son from Beverly Hills, who we know is a social come-up. Is it a coincidence to go after Bravo celebrities and the son of a star?
She started off as a fan, so maybe everything she's doing, it is just to cause chaos and to be on TV, and she's not even thinking about what she's doing. And then the alcohol, which I said she may like have an alcoholism issue, maybe she's drinking so much on the show because she's trying to get liquid courage to perform the way she wants, the way she's performing every episode. Like, the things she's doing are performative. It's for the show to get talked about. She wants to be like controversial and be like the main girl they talk about. So maybe she is drinking a lot, looking like an alcoholic to get the courage to do these things on TV that will get her talked about, like Step Up to Lala, hooking up with Schwartz, like just the messy, everything she's doing. It's all like for TV, and the drinking is fueling her to do this for TV, giving her the courage, you know? So I'm like, maybe that does kind of seem like that's what she's doing. Hooking up with Sandoval would be good for the show, I guess, but it's just like, what's gonna happen in your future next? Like, everybody hates you. I don't think it was the best way to go or like the best move to make. But then again, maybe it was. I mean, she's freaking viral now, so. Anyways, we also saw a preview for the rest of the season, the mid-season preview for the rest of the season, and we see.
Do you want anything else?
And Ariana's like, for you to die. It's so good and juicy. We see Ariana holding her boobs and there's like a guy next to her in the pool. We see some insinuation of an open relationship, but Ariana and Sandoval have said they never had an open relationship. So I don't know where that's coming from. I don't think it's about them. I don't know. But we hear the open relationship comment making it seem like it's about them. And we see a little bit of Tom and Raquel together, so that's going to be interesting to see. And we see Schwartz next to Tom, and Tom being really stressed out, like, ugh, and like he has an earring that shows, and it's a lightning bolt. Very excited for the rest of this season. That's all my opinions. Thank you so much for watching. I know my eyes look a little crazy. I had my surgery. Everything went well. You can check the rest of my videos if you want to know more. But please don't judge. Please don't be a hater. I have no makeup. I can't wear makeup. I can't do my eyebrows. My eyes look crazy. Don't be a hater. Bye.
A part of me will always feel like Tom got away with something. I want you to see these text messages that she sent. Okay.
You gotta build that heart up and swell it up, and then break it.
I still love the fact that I live with you.
Cheers.
You know, I gotta say, it's been pretty awesome living with you. There's not 1 second I ever regret it.
You know, people thought that Raquel and I made out at Coachella.
Me and Ariana were living together. I mean, that's still new.
This is the actual guy who made out with Raquel.
Out with the old and with the new.
What's it like out there? Is it a cornucopia of delicious dick?
Do you understand like how it has affected me emotionally, knowing that you guys have kept this secret from me for years?
I know who my true friends are.
Right. Welcome to Sora. You're going to regret it.
Look forward to hating you all at some point.
About what Raquel wants.
Smell this one. Hyacinths have the best smell.
Cheesy pickup line.
What's inside the bathroom?
Urinal. Come on in. Come on in.
Does it smell okay in here?
I need to take a deep breath in the bed.
Hey, what's up? I'm back again to talk more Vanderpump Rules. Let's get into it. Today we're discussing episode 8 and 9. It's a lot of stuff that happened, but episode 7 was really jam-packed, and I'm really doing a deep dive and really analyzing people's behaviors, especially Raquel and Sandoval. We're going to discuss and recap. I noticed a couple little things while we were watching. Alright, let's get into it. So, the episode starts, of course. I don't know the titles of the episodes, but they have like little spunky names. So episode 8 is called By Invitation Only. This is obviously in reference to all of Sheena's events for her wedding, and it's invite only. This is also in regards to Katie, because she's not invited, and she's told plenty of times during this episode, but of course, Katie doesn't care. In fact, she seems to make it an effort to be everywhere Sheena doesn't want her to be, so that's delightful. I'm only going to be talking about the most relevant things here, not every single thing that happens. So the episode opens with James, and he's practicing his DJing. He's really into it, and he has a conversation with his dad who's visiting him. And Allie's there, and the dad basically tells James that he never thought he had a drinking problem, that he thinks he's okay, and he's so shocked that he can do any DJ sets without drinking. Binge drinking is a regular thing, he says, and he can picture Allie and James getting married, but he could never picture James and Raquel getting married. So that's a mouthful, that's a lot. I don't know where he gets that he can see Allie and James married. I don't know how well he knows Allie, but that's a pretty big statement to make. Whatever the case may be, James' dad is like a party guy, so whatever he says, I would just take it like a grain of salt. Like, he's just a guy to have fun with and to have a good time with, and that's about it. It shows Sheena and Brock, they're planning their schedule for the wedding, like the seating arrangement for the wedding. It's very convoluted, very complicated. Sheena's been figuring it out, and they say that Raquel is seated near Joey.
I have Joey right here behind Raquel.
And Brock makes a comment like, wow, Raquel's making quite a roster. She's next to Joey, huh? And we know, based on all the tea that we've been hearing, that Raquel has hooked up with Joey.
Raquel's got a little roster stacking up.
She does.
Raquel's walking down the aisle
with Joey.
Peter's sitting right next to James.
So he says, like, oh, she has a roster, like James, Joey, I think there was one more person he said. I don't know, but he's like James, Joey, and like one of the people he mentions is somebody that she just made out with, not like hooked up. So like I wonder, are we including people she's made out with too, or just like hookups? Like what are we including in the roster here? I guess just guys in general.
Run.
So it's pretty funny, and it's kind of funny too that we know Raquel hooked up with that Joey guy, just saying. The next scene is the tasting. The guy's doing a tasting for Schwartz and Sandy's, and it's so weird because they just did a tasting before where Ariana went, and I guess it was to no avail because Greg needs to redo the tasting and figure out what they're having, because what they decided on is a no-go. So they're doing a tasting again. It seems like they just keep doing things over and over and over. Like, you already had a tasting. What was the point of the tasting before? Like, you guys can't seem to get it right, you know?
How are we on the cocktail menu?
Here, grab that list. Pretty fun.
I just wanted to point out, look how confidently Tom Sandoval thinks this list is ready. He's just as clueless as Schwartz.
That one's good to go. I just need to check on the cherry juice.
He thinks the only problem is cherry juice. He's clearly a glorified bartender at best, not a business owner.
You don't have final prices on here.
Yeah.
I need the glassware.
Yeah.
I need the final price.
Okay.
I can't even put Blue Shark drink into the POS system.
No, of course, obviously, dude. I know.
So they have a tasting, they're about to get started, and who walks in? Good old Katie.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
How's it going?
I invited Katie to the tasting. My little way of saying, I still care about you.
It's kind of funny because she is no longer married to Schwartz, you're divorced, yet you're invited to the tasting, kind of still playing a part in the bar, still involved in that whole headache and mess, which you claim took part in like ruining your marriage. So you would think you'd want to just not really be involved in that too much, but somehow she still wants to be in there dealing with the same problems she was dealing with when she was married. I don't know who would love that, but I think she just wants to feel included. And when she's there, she meets one of the wives of somebody else, and I noticed that this tasting, Ariana is not there. Why? I'm not sure. What else does Ariana have going on? I'm not sure. She has some family issues she's dealing with right now, maybe. Her dog just passed, so maybe she doesn't really feel like going out too much, but it's kind of odd that she wouldn't be there. Like, you know, a free food experience is always cool. I'm sure Ariana would be down.
Oh. This is our house-made lobster corn dog, fresh corn batter.
Wow.
It's nice.
Roasted ghost salad with a goat cheese vinaigrette, crab beignet, a tarragon green goddess dipping sauce.
That's nice.
It's nice.
Tahini-based Caesar salad.
But somehow, Sandoval didn't bring his significant other. And the other partner, their wife is there, and Schwartz's ex-wife is there, and Katie and the wife, the other wife lady, they meet each other, they introduce each other. The lady's like, oh, I'm so-and-so's wife. The other guy's the partner's wife. And Katie's like,
oh, I'm Schwartz's ex-wife.
Oh, hey, I'm Jolene. I'm Greg's wife, Katie. Mom's soon be ex-wife. But we're still besties.
Perfect.
Besties.
it's like, it's so awkward. Why must you introduce yourself that way? If you guys are good friends, just say, I'm Schwartz's friend and leave it at that. Like, you almost revel in the awkwardness. Like, why introduce yourself as Schwartz's ex-wife? You guys are more than that. You guys are friends now. Like, you don't need to let everybody know, like, the weirdness going on. But whatever. I thought that was kind of odd that she would introduce herself like that and make the other girl feel awkward too. It's just like, okay, we're all awkward. Anyway, they mentioned trying dessert next time, and Katie's like, oh, go ahead and invite me. And you can tell Sandoval's not that hip to her being there. He's kind of like, what are you doing here, you know?
Next thing we'll work on is desserts.
Well, make sure you call me.
Yeah, it's a specialty.
I think she really means it. So she wants to be invited to the next tasting. I don't even think Sandoval likes her involved in this one. So we'll see how that goes. You don't need to be that involved, Katie. It is your ex-husband. The next relevant thing is the girls get together for a lunch. It is Sheena, Lala, Ariana, and they invite Allie, James's girl. And it's so funny because when James and his dad are talking and Allie talks about being invited to this lunch, James is like, let me see what you're wearing. Do you know what you're wearing yet? Let me check it. It's like he doesn't trust her to pick a good outfit or something. Like, he needs to analyze everything she wears, because I noticed last time too, he's like, what are you wearing? Let me see. And then the other time he's like, oh, wear these shoes or wear this dress. Like, it's always like he's monitoring what she wears. It's so funny. Like, it's not like a monitoring way in like a strict way. It more seems like he doesn't have faith that she'll pick an outfit that's like good to his standards, you know? I didn't remember him being like that with Raquel. Like, he trusted her with her fashion choices, but maybe he's avoiding the whole like being made fun of for the things you wear, like Raquel with like the reunion look where she was like spacey looking, you know, holographic outfit situation. Maybe he's trying to avoid something like that. Like, I don't want them to have anything to make fun of you about. Let me check your outfit. I don't know, but it's funny. So she's invited to the lunch. She's there with the girls. Lala and Sheena kind of talk about the thing that they got into at the pool party where Raquel and her had a moment. And Sheena's like, I just didn't want it to be anybody ganging up on anyone. Like, everybody was told to behave themselves. Ariana's like, yeah, I was kind of like the mediator. And Lala's like, well, you know, everyone was being told to behave themselves except Raquel. Okay, whatever, Lala. And I think it's funny because when they arrive at the meal, Lala's like, Sheena, you look beautiful. You look great.
Thank you. Sheena, yeah, your ass be hitting right in those jeans.
And I noticed, like, when Sheena and Lala want to get along, or when Lala wants to sweeten Sheena up, she starts with a compliment. Every time.
Thank you. You're welcome. I'm gonna borrow that anytime. A hot denim dress.
It's quite predictable, and we all love to be complimented, but I'm just saying, it seems to me that Lala knows Sheena particularly wants to be complimented all the time, and she makes sure to get that sweet little compliment in before she, like, goes in, you know? Good tactics, Lala. I see you. Good tactic. So she's like, you look amazing, by the way. Yeah, and Raquel is acting like an asshole.
Thank you. Sheena, yeah, your ass be hitting right. Of course. Oh, I like girl time when I... That's my favorite girl time. Did your head get ripped off last night?
Everyone was trying to take everyone's heads off.
You know, and then Sheena's just like, yeah, well, we were all kind of acting up, whatever.
Raquel, who was the only one being mean.
I felt like she was standing up for herself.
She's in a pink sarong with 6-inch heels. All right. She looked enough already. All right. She looked enough already. She looked like a baby prostitute.
You smell like a baby prostitute. Thanks.
And then they mention a tea party. Ariana invites Sheena. Sheena's like, I don't trust tea parties, because she's fought with people before at a tea party. She's like, is Katie gonna be there? No, Katie's not gonna be there. So they all plan on this tea party, and Allie gets an invitation. She's getting more and more invites to things, and it's pretty funny because Ariana says, yes, I'm the one that invited Allie to this luncheon, which, you know, procured the invitation to the tea party, because she's like, she's a nice girl, I want to get to know her more. And yes, I spoke to Raquel before and let her know.
I've hung out with Allie in like big group settings, and I just feel she's so sweet. She should just be included in things. But I did let Raquel know that I was inviting her.
Because why? Ariana's a good friend. She does not need to do that. She does not need to check in with Raquel and make sure Raquel's okay with this before she invites Ali. But that's really nice and really, really noble that she would do that. She cares that much about her friendship to possibly not build more with Ali. She cares that much about her friendship to ask Raquel before inviting Ali to something, and that's really sweet. And Sheena says as well, you know, if Raquel wasn't okay with this, she wouldn't be here. So they're both being very loyal friends.
I would love to get to know her more. I really like Ali, as long as it doesn't hurt Raquel's feelings.
And Ariana particularly, it stood out to me, not because of what's going on, but just the fact that she says, like, I totally checked in with Raquel before. Like, that just shows that they're pretty close at this point, you know? Next we see Lala get together with Sheena and Brock, and they have like a heart-to-heart moment. This is the moment where Lala finally apologizes for the way that she treated Brock the last season. And it was kind of called for. She like really attacked him and went after him. It was kind of like she didn't need to do that, you know, so I'm saying the apology was called for. So she apologizes to Brock. Brock accepts. Brock's actually like, no, you were being a real friend. I thank you for being like that. You got me on track with my family.
I've been at the beach. I'm sure I have sand all over myself. It's like you just do a photo shoot.
Will Lala compliment Sheena?
I do? Yes. Wow, I love that.
Nope, you're already getting a sorry, no compliment.
I'm so sorry for the way that I approached that situation.
But to be honest, that's what good friends do.
Brock is an incredible husband to Sheena, and the way that he treats my baby, I like really love that dude. A lot.
I know for a fact that I'm not going to make those mistakes moving forward.
Lala and I have made so much progress.
I do have a past, and I'm not proud of that.
Everyone does.
But we got there.
And it's like, okay, whatever, Brock. I think you're just saying something for the camera because you're not really being shown anymore on the show. And maybe it has a lot to do with your family issues or whatever. It didn't come across that great to people. So I think you're just trying to like clean that up a little bit because at the time, he hated Lala for doing that. I'm sure he hated Lala for bringing that to light and putting him through all of this strife. And now they've gotten very close, as we see in the scene. They're raising their children together. They live really close. And Brock has taken to Lala's child. He's helping her with the child. He's being really nice. And I love that. I think that's a really great thing that Brock has chosen to do that, and therefore they've grown this really nice connection where Lala needs to apologize to Brock for how she was before. And it's a little bothersome because Brock is an absentee father to his other children. Like, he left Australia, allegedly. He left Australia, and he meets Sheena and gets with her, has a child. He left children and a wife behind in Australia, and I don't think he sees them or spends time with them. However, he could, but I'm just saying that he's not the best father to those kids. We'll just say that. We don't know what kind of father he is, but he's not the best, right? Because the best would be there with the kids.
He's an amazing dad.
Oh, baby.
Do you FaceTime with your kids?
Now, no.
You do not?
Not right now.
Did she ask you not to communicate with them?
She fixed up our child support issue, fixed that up.
And you haven't fixed that up?
But not yet. We're nearly there.
First of all, sounds like Sheena's paying it. And second, are you seeing your kids or not? Because you should be done with the child support by now.
You want to be in the kid's life, take care of child support first. Like, look, this is what you need to do to prove to me that you want to be a better person.
I know for a fact that I'm not going to make those mistakes moving forward.
So he left and kind of started another family, you know, like when you get older as the other kids, the first kids, I'm sure you will feel that he went to America and started a new family. So I'm just going to say that that's kind of what he did. And you weren't the best father to your own children that you had that came from you, but you are a father to Lala's child. And it's kind of like a little sad, you know, like it's like, okay, you're such a great guy and you're capable of being there for children. You just choose not to be there for your own, but you choose to be there for other people's. That's great, you know, but whatever, as long as he's doing good with Summer, as long as the arrangement is working for everyone, who am I to say something? I just gotta throw my 2 cents in there. So he's cries.
Being a strong, independent mother, my mom went through hell and back and provided a great life for me.
That's what I know. Oh, she will know. She knows. You guys are good mums.
You guys are such good moms, it makes me cry.
Like, okay, you're so sentimental, you're just a big teddy bear, huh? I'm sure he is a big teddy bear, but I love that you're tearing up at the struggle of a mother and the beauty of a mother, like being so good to her children and being there for her. Imagine a single mother whose husband like walked out and now she's raising 2 children on her own. Like, I wonder if you cry about that at night, Brock. I just wonder. Sentimental, but I'm not totally falling for Brock. I just feel like it was the best thing to do on camera to show that the relationship has now grown so much. Point made. We get it. But I don't think that Brock has redeemed himself. I heard in a couple like vlogs and stuff that they don't want to film with Brock anymore. Nobody really wants to. So that's why like Scheana, her whole storyline revolves around Schwartz, because not many people wanted to film with Brock. So Brock gets a few scenes here and there, but he's definitely not there as much as he was before. And that's because people didn't really love him on the show or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I'll double check what the reason is, but yeah, I know for sure they did not really want to film with him that much this time. So of course the Mexico and the wedding stuff, Brock is involved, but he's not like there as much as before. Schwartz is down to film with him. That's why Scheana loves Schwartz, but not that many people wanted to apparently. Brock, I remember the last couple seasons, I don't think it's that they hate him, I think it's that he was taking over the show. Like people didn't really notice this or say anything about it, but I noticed that Brock was on like all the time. He was talking so much, he had so many scenes, so much involvement in every scandal, like don't get into women's business, you know, like a beautiful quotable, you know.
You are the only husband, boyfriend, fiance that gets involved in women's business. I get that.
Okay,
let me just
all right
tell you
then.
what you
But
need
your
to do.
delivery
Hold on,
was
let me
wrong.
just say this. This is what you need to do. You need to stay out of women's business.
I think that Brock needs to really understand that, and he has gotten the point because he was really involved. Like we would want to hear Scheana's response about something and Brock would chime in and give us his response. Brock would chime in.
You need to stay out of women's business.
Brock would say, I love you guys. Lala, you're a great friend. Randall's a great guy. Like, James, you're awesome. Like, we know your heart. Like, he was so in there. Chill, dude. You just met these people a couple years ago. Like, they're your wife's friends. You're supposed to be the husband on the side that, like, has conversations with her. We hear funny quips from you. Sometimes you get involved if it's really serious, but we don't need to hear you talk and have an opinion about everything every single episode. Like, it was Brock overload. Too much Brock. Too much Brock on the camera. And he would respond and say something like, well, I think this, and Scheana would just not talk. Like he took over. They don't both need to put their thoughts into it. So he was essentially like taking Sheena's spot almost. Like Scheana was quiet Brock's first season because Brock was so talkative for the two of them. So I think he just overdid it, and nobody really saw it, but Vanderpump probably was like, no, I don't need him all over my show. He's not the star. Let's calm that down. And now Raquel is being the star, and we'll see how that turns out. Oh yeah, during this meal, Brock just asks flat out, which is a cool moment. He's like, hey, so are you going to be involved in the wedding stuff? We know how you feel about with Raquel.
Do we get to keep you all of those trips?
What do you mean? And Lala makes a promise. Like, she's like, yes, of course I'm going to be there. Like, I'm there for you. I'm coming to Mexico for you.
Because obviously you and Raquel.
I don't like her, but if it's any big event, anything like a group wedding situation, like part of your wedding stuff, of course I'll be there.
Like with all the activities going on?
I told Scheana if she has anything where it's just like her bridesmaid, I can't hide my energy.
Funny, Halala does not want to bring negative energy around Scheana when it's convenient, but ultimately wants Katie's negative energy around.
If I go to these bridesmaids event with Raquel, there's no escape route. But anything where it's like a larger group of people, like the boat, I'll be there. I'll be there.
And she specifically says the boat will be there. In the next episode, she has trouble and she doesn't really want to go on the boat. So it's kind of funny because right this moment, she is saying, yes, I will be at the boat. I'm avoiding Raquel, but I will be at all your wedding festivities. I just love how she tells people what they want to hear to their face, and it's completely different on the sidelines. Just another example of Lala doing that. These are your good friends. These are basically family to you. You should be there, and you're saying you're going to be there, so we'll see. And she says here too, like anything large, like large event, everybody there, wedding situation, I will be there. I don't want to be at like intimate little things, you know. I will be there anything big. So that's her promise, and boat is included. So at Lisa's tea party, Everybody gets there. Sheena's supposed to be surprised. They sing Good as Gold to her. Sheena's not surprised because she saw her sister's car.
It is next to impossible to surprise Sheena. She has like all of our locations on her phone.
We now know that Sheena would check Raquel's location during Scandival, and it was turned off a couple nights, presumably because she was with Tom.
And then Brock arrives later, and James is drinking, you know, of course.
Pumptini, and I'd say 3.5 years. Pumptini! It's not like I'm engaged anymore, so we're going ham.
James is getting really drunk. Lala goes over there and she kind of fires him up. Like, she's like, hey, we all like your girlfriend. Why isn't she going to the wedding stuff? See if Sheena wants her to go. She's like, what? Is she not going because of Raquel? Is that why? And James is like, yes, you know that's why, you know. And she's like, oh my goodness, sorry, my bad. And you know he's drinking. You know how he gets. So, like, why are you having this conversation with him while he's drinking? Like, firing him up a little bit, you know?
Where'd you get that big plate? I'm undercompensating.
Is Allie still not invited to the actual ceremony?
Mm-hmm.
She really likes Allie. I wonder if she's not invited because maybe Raquel doesn't want her.
Obviously. Like, are you Dr. Seuss or something?
Really? Did I just nail it?
Yes, you nailed it. This is literally about what Raquel wants.
Smell this one. Hyacinths have the best smell.
Raquel is literally sniffing flowers with Ariana as she sleeps with her boyfriend. Doesn't look like she feels bad to me.
It smells like a flower.
And he's being inappropriate at that moment. He's like, yeah, well, Brock, blah, blah, blah. And what if I just get married and I just do it during their party, because previously Sheena and Brock got engaged during Raquel and James's stuff. So he's like, why don't I do that to them, you know, payback. And Lala's like, haha, you're dumb. But she's not exactly like scolding him. She kind of egged it on, you know. And then when he's like, oh, I'm gonna ruin their wedding, she's like, stop it, I'm done.
Should I ask Ali to marry me in Mexico?
I'm so done. You moved on so quickly, and I don't necessarily even care who it is at this point. Like a payback?
I mean, no! It's not! It's just a thought!
This is so mean. He's impersonating Brock, and what does Lala say?
I like really love that dude.
So then we see her talking to James again later when he's drinking even more, and Vanderpump's there. And when she's talking in front of Vanderpump with James, James is like, oh, I want to make babies, and then she's like, can you not say make babies? Can you not behave like that? Seriously? You need to act right. And like, she's being super righteous.
Wait, why are you taking the ball?
Sandoval said Ariana would only hang out with the girls, but clearly she's a lot of fun, and that is not true.
Brock knows rules. He's on a journey, I told him. I will go on this journey with him because I'm invested in him, and I will try to offer.
Try not to offer as much as you did before.
No. Well, you had a girlfriend before.
I'm gonna put some babies in there one day.
Can you say I want to create a family with her?
What?
When you talk, sometimes you sound like you're a 16-year-old.
Oh my god, if Brock can bring a baby in the bloody world.
And I find it like really funny. He's your friend, and like, I just think in front of Vanderpump, you want to act like you're so sophisticated and mature, but when it's just the two of you on the sidelines talking, you're like, hey, why aren't you going? Because of Raquel? Is that why? It's like, dude, be straight up. Like, stop acting so righteous in front of Vanderpump. Just saying. During the tea party, they're playing like ping pong or whatever, some of the guys, and it's kind of interesting because the girls are all together on one side. They're having a conversation, and then you have the guys on one side, James, Sandoval, and they're like playing ping pong, they're chatting. Like, you know how at all these events, the girls will go in one group, the guys will go in one group, they'll have their private conversations, and then they'll all gather together, you know? So the girls are on one side, guys are on one side, and who comes walking over to the guys' side? Raquel. And she goes over to Schwartz, and she's like, hey, Schwartz, like, let's chat.
First to 21.
Okay.
Good shot.
I'll take it.
It's my spot right here.
What's up?
How's it going? How's it going? Your opening is coming up very soon, right?
Yeah, it's on the 31st. I hope you can make it.
Okay.
But we're tight. I can bitch to you.
Yeah, of course. I love the fact that Schwartz and we're tight.
I bitch a lot.
You know, and she's sitting there with Schwartz, and James and Sandoval are playing the ping pong game together, and she has a perfect view of them. They have a perfect view of her. So Schwartz and Raquel are sitting back here on some chairs, and they're chatting. She approached him, and from there, there's a perfect view of James and Sandoval. So it's like, you first think, if you see this the first time without knowing about Scandival, you think, oh, Raquel's over there talking to Schwartz, maybe she likes him, and also, bonus, maybe she's in front of James because she's trying to make James jealous. It's a simultaneous action. I'm gonna flirt with this guy, and I'm gonna make my ex jealous. Like, that's what we would see as the viewer. Does she like Schwartz? Does she not? Who knows? Is she trying to make James jealous? Probably. So that's what it looks like originally. But then you take into consideration that she has already hooked up with Sandoval at this point. So it's like a triple whammy if you think about it. Like, it is so convoluted. Like, this is like Jedi mind tricks right here. Like, she is hooking up with Sandoval, James is the ex, flirting with Schwartz, and they can see it all. So it's like, it's perfect. Like, from her perspective, like, if you go into the mind of every person, like, let's look at Schwartz's head. In Schwartz's head, he's like, oh, here comes Raquel, she's chatting with me, they're playing ping pong, whatever. Hopefully James isn't upset that we're talking. That's probably all he's thinking. But he thinks it's lighthearted, we're just chatting. Let's go into James's mind. Oh, great. There's Schwartz and Raquel flirting right in front of me. And he's super annoyed, by the way. Right when Raquel walks up to Schwartz, you just see James, like, staring at them.
We've got to enjoy our time in Mexico. When we're out of the country, there's nothing you can do.
And it's really, really funny. He's just like, really?
But to, like, have fun,
So he's kind of annoyed by that, but whatever, they're flirting, and he makes a comment, like, about his weight.
It was on this ping pong table. Why are you flirting with Raquel right in front of me? Desperate and absurd. Go hit the treadmill, you f***ing fat.
I'm just remembering that James's insults are always about summer bodies. So anyways, they're there talking. James has a perfect view, so James is probably just thinking like, oh, what an ass, you know, why are you flirting with her in front of me, whatever. You can't help yourself.
Attitude.
Yeah.
Very stoic. Yeah.
Cheers.
Very stoic.
Yeah. Hey, Schwartz, if I shoot a net, all right, do you get your second service?
I didn't know that.
These boys get competitive.
No. Do you know? That was a good game, dude.
And then you go into Sandoval's mind, and you would think he's just like, nice, Schwartz and Raquel flirting, cool, like, she's getting out there, you know? But no, the reality, Sandoval's mind is thinking, I just hooked up with Raquel. What's going on with her and Schwartz over there? Oh, hopefully James is not noticing that me and Raquel are kind of looking at each other like he's in a sticky spot playing ping pong right here. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at Raquel's point of view, and she's literally like, I'm flirting with Schwartz, kind of like him. My ex is right there watching, making him jealous, check. And the guy that I just slept with is right there, seeing me flirt with his best friend, check. He's jealous too.
These boys get competitive.
What is this? It's like freaking 4D chess she's playing right now. So this little game is going on, and another game of Raquel's is going on, literally. So she's talking with Schwartz, and I noticed something interesting about this conversation. She says to Schwartz,
your opening is coming up very soon, right?
Everyone knows the Toms are behind schedule with their opening, but the friends don't yet know when the opening could be. It could be months away still. Coming up soon? How do you know that?
Coming up very soon.
Yeah, it's on the 31st.
oh, so you guys are opening the bar? And he's like, yeah.
On the 31st?
You know, it's so difficult, such a headache, I don't want to bitch, but we're close, I can tell you.
And she's like, yeah, we're close. Okay, you're close, but it doesn't sound like Schwartz is the one that told you you're opening on the 31st. Like, yeah, we are. How do you know that? Okay? Because they haven't told their friends. I watched the last episode and I analyzed it. At no point do they tell their friends about opening on the 31st. This has not been mentioned publicly to the crew yet. They told Vanderpump that they're opening on the 31st. They did not tell the friends. So once again, just like Sandoval knew so much about Raquel and how she felt in episode 7, Raquel knows so much about them. It's such a casual thing, you wouldn't even notice it. But how do you know that? How do you know that? Did Ariana tell her? You know, does she know? I don't know. It's like, who told her? How do you know that? It's kind of interesting. Like, obviously, Sandoval told you that you guys are opening the 31st when he had a conversation with you when you guys were hanging out, because you're really close now. Really dumb that she would say that, because I don't know when she was told that, but she knows private information about Schwartz and Sandy's and when they're opening, apparently. The only people that really know is Vanderpump, Schwartz, Sandy, and frickin' Greg. Like, how do you know? You haven't even gone to any of the tastings. How do you know this? But she knows. So that was pretty funny. That's her opening line when she talks to Schwartz. Schwartz doesn't even notice. So they're playing this game. Raquel's there with the boys, kind of obnoxious. Sandoval says, hey everybody, we're moving this party to Schwartz and Sandy's. Come on, let's go. And it kind of seems like this is something that he planned. And so it's like, oh, that's nice of Sandoval. Like, he always tries to make himself look good. Like, he's the announcer, you know?
Let's raise a glass to Sheena and Brock. We love you guys so much.
Afterwards, if you guys want to come to Schwartz and Sandy's. It's not open, but we can all come and just have some drinks and hang out, a little after party.
And like, you think nothing of it, but like looking back, it's like, you're saying like, hey, let's go to Schwartz and Sandy's, and it looks like it's your idea and you planned this, but then we see Schwartz say, well, I paid for the liquor. So that's like the main part of the party, right? I paid for the liquor, we're both paying the bartender to be here. So it's like, they both kind of did this for Sheena. And he says, I paid for it for Sheena because I'm a good friend of them.
Pizza, we got wine, we got beer.
We're not dipping into the Schwartz and Sandy's liquor. This is all stuff I put on my tab. We are paying the bartender the bar back too. It's like a little I love you to Sheena and Brock.
You know, like, to show them how much I appreciate them. Sandoval didn't say, I put in my money, I did this. Like, he just says, probably, I own Schwartz and Sandy's, and I let them be here, you know? Like, it's just kind of funny.
Pizza, we got wine, we got beer.
This is all stuff I put on my tab.
Hey guys, come grab a shot.
That's like a little I love you to Sheena and Brock.
In honor of Brock and Sheena.
Sandoval's the announcer, but Schwartz is the one that actually did more for this event to even happen. So they invite everyone to Schwartz and Sandy's. Everybody arrives, and I think it's kind of funny. Okay, because when they all get there, they're like, oh yeah, we're here. And Sandoval's like, yeah, come on guys. He walks in first, and guess who's walking right behind him? Walking in first. Guess who's right behind him, which means they were walking together, they were next to each other, something. I don't know, unless she just ran up to get behind him, but they were obviously close. So, like, in close quarters, you know? Right behind Sandoval, he's the first one to walk in the bar. Second, Raquel.
Pizza. We're here.
Hi.
I missed it here.
She's walking in right behind him. And then we see Lala, we see Schwartz, then we see Ariana. And Ariana says, wow, I miss this place.
I missed it here.
Kind of insinuates she hasn't been here in a while. So the question is, why is Raquel walking in so close to Sandoval? Like, why is she walking in with Sandoval? Why isn't Ariana with Sandoval? Like, he left Ariana behind, rushing to get in, and like, Raquel's rushing to get in too. It's kind of hilarious. So they both walk in kind of like together. Ariana walks in later and says, I've missed this place. So it kind of sounds like Ariana hasn't been to Schwartz and Sandy's in a while. Why does she miss the place? Like, that's strange. And if she misses the place, they just had a tasting there, you know? If she misses a place, it obviously sounds like she wants to be there. Like, oh, I miss being here. So why wouldn't you be invited to the tasting that Sandoval just had? I'm sure she'd be down to go since she misses the place, you know? She likes being there, obviously. She looks pretty happy walking in, and anybody likes free food. So it's kind of curious, like, why didn't she come to the tasting? She misses being there? Sounds like she's not there that often, or she hasn't been there in a while. So what's up with that? Why do you never bring her around? That's just kind of weird, you know? Like, there's distance there. She obviously is admitting she hasn't been to the bar in a while, and you spend all your time at the bar, so when are you spending time with her? Because you could collide those two. She misses being at the bar, and she misses you. Why didn't you invite her to the tasting? Just saying. During the party, James approaches Sheena and Brock, and he's like, please let my girlfriend go. Can she be part of the events? And Sheena's like, I don't really know her. The seating arrangement is crazy, which is true. We saw her working on it. But in the end, she decides, yes, I will make room for her. She can come. And why does she do this? Because James says, remember at my party when you did your engagement there and you couldn't wait? And you see Sheena in the confessional, and she's just like, oh, like, damn it, because she has to now concede. She's like, you're right, I did do that to you. Fair game, you played a good game.
Hey guys, look at the slick rig. Listen, Ali's obviously coming to Mexico. Could she possibly maybe come to the reception? Remember my last engagement party? Remember the engagement party, bro? I'm glad they said yes. It was the final no on my final ask.
It would have been my final.
I love you guys.
All right, she's invited. So James gets what he wants, and it's pretty mean because he's like, if she wasn't gonna let her go, I was gonna be like, F you. You're just such a cool friend. You're mean. Anyways, besides the point. So she gets an invitation to all these festivities. They're all drinking, having a good time, and Sandoval makes a little toast. In this toast, Sandoval says, thank you all for coming. We are not open yet. James is like, really? You're not open yet? We keep having parties and you're not open yet? It's like, yeah, it's kind of hilarious.
For all of you who haven't been here, welcome to Schwartz and Sandy's.
The bow is a little overboard, but look who's right in front of him.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We are looking so forward to opening up on the 31st.
Wait, this place isn't open yet? How many soft openings are we doing? Cheers.
So they're not open yet, but they're having festivities. I don't know why they can't open yet. First of all, he says, everyone that hasn't seen the bar, welcome, thank you for coming. I wonder who hasn't seen it, because you've had so many parties at this point, everybody's seen it. Maybe this is directed to Raquel. I'll look back and see if she's been to Schwartz and Sandy's before, but it's like, Lala's been there, Katie's been there, Ariana's obviously been there, Schwartz has been there. Maybe Brock hasn't, so that's one. I'm sure Sheena's been there. So it's like, this is directed at Brock and Raquel, I guess, you know? To those who haven't come here, thank you for coming. Okay, great. And then he says, we're opening on 31st, everybody. That is our opening day. So at this moment, he lets everybody know they're opening on the 31st. He has officially announced it to the group. This is the moment that Raquel should find out that they're opening. She was obviously told privately in another setting, because this right here is when they're telling all their friends when they're opening. This is when she should be finding out that information. And when he says to everyone that hasn't been to the bar, thank you so much for coming, and Raquel's like, thank you so much. Like, you hear her, she's the one responding, like, thank you so much, and she's so happy. It's like, okay, cringy, because you're hooking up with the guy. She's sitting right in front of him, like, having a great view, like, cheersing, you know? And, like, Lala's kind of like, over cheers, and Raquel's like, cheers, thank you so much! Like, she's so happy, so that's kind of telling right there. And then, again, Raquel swoops in to try to get Schwartz. She swooped in during the party. She went over there to talk to him. She approached him. She does it again during this scene.
I heard something like you have some sort of like art installation.
She's like, oh, so don't you have an art installation in the bathroom? Can I see it? And Schwartz is like, yeah, sure, you want to see it? So Schwartz takes her over. They're in the bathroom, super awkward. Turns out they both have projector lights, so that should have been expected. Like, we should have known they both have projector lights. They're quite similar, you know. She's like, do you have a projector? I have a projector. Oh, bring it to Mexico. He's like, I will. It's like, okay, cute, whatever. Dumb. She's checking out the bathroom. Like, this is really cool. I want to use the bathroom now. I'm sure the ladies' bathroom is quite close to the men's bathroom. I don't know why you need to use the men's bathroom, but she wants to.
Do you want to see? It's like a portal to another universe. It's like a portal to another universe. It's a sound bad.
Yeah, I want to do the portal to another.
Okay, I'm gonna take Raquel. I'll be back. I'll be back. Sounds like a cheesy pickup line.
Stop it. What are they doing?
I have one of those projectors too.
Yeah, I do.
Bring it to Cancun with you.
Bring it to Cancun with you.
Is this possibly an excuse to check out Schwartz's room in Mexico? Because I don't think he's going to be carrying that projection light around.
What's inside the bathroom? It's in the men's restroom. Is that the side too?
Is that the side too?
Okay, come on in. Does this smell okay? Take a deep breath in the men's. I'll guard the door while you take a piss in the men's bathroom.
Okay, you keep watch.
Okay.
And this just kind of reminds me of like 12-year-old flirting. Like, when they flirt, they're like 15-year-olds. Like, literally, like, Schwartz doesn't really know how to do it, and Raquel doesn't really know how to do it. Like, well, fakes it at least. She's like, oh, I'm gonna go in the bathroom. Yeah, I'm gonna use the boys' bathroom. Can you guard the bathroom for me? He's like, yeah, I'll guard the bathroom.
I'll guard the doorway. You take a piss in the men's bathroom.
Schwartz, what are you doing?
I'm guarding the piss in the guy.
It's like, okay, this is cringy and awkward. You guys are acting like little kids when you flirt. I thought maybe they would work out because he's passive, she's not bossy like Katie. She would be relaxed with him, you know, back before the scandal, I'm saying. I'm like, they don't seem too bad for each other. Like, maybe they did hook up. They kind of looks like they would get along. They're both like patient people. But no, they would have never worked out because they both act like little children. So there you go. That was obvious in this episode. So she's in the bathroom and she's like, this is cool. Like, what's in here? What goes over here? It's like, what goes in here? What's here? Kind of reminds me of, what do you think is here? You know, a classic moment.
The problem we have is we've got to put more toilets in there. We're going to put 2 handicapped toilets and 6 urinals for men. Well, there's 2 toilets inside, but there'll be 2 in that corner, plus the urinals.
I don't want to deal with urinals. You deal with urinals.
You've done, sir. Now you're going to do pump. I just want you to figure out what we're going to do with the urinals.
Obviously urinals. That's what's going to be in the men's bathroom.
Urinals for men.
Urinals, okay? So hilarious. I'm like yelling at the TV like, urinals.
And what's inside the bathroom?
Urinals.
It's in the men's restroom.
Urinals for men.
It's just like another bathroom scene. Who would have thunk it? A men's bathroom scenes where we can say urinal again.
Urinals.
So she's in there and he's like, why don't you smell the bathroom? She's like, he's like sniffing the bathroom. He's like, ew, this is awkward. And while Schwartz is guarding the bathroom for her to use it, Brock is like, yeah, guard her. Guard that bathroom. You better guard her, huh? You better guard her.
Schwartz, what are you doing?
I'm guarding. She wanted to piss in the guy.
You better guard her. Raquel is on fire right now. Yeah, better guard her.
It's like, yeah, he better guard her because she a sneaky one. And I think Brock knows at this point. He's like, first he made the comment like she's building quite a roster, and now he's like, yeah, you better guard her, because he knows she's like a little player, you know? Like, I think Brock has kind of figured it out. But anyways, he's guarding the bathroom and it's just like an awkward, weird flirt. It might again be like to bother Sandoval or to bother James, because I don't know why you keep really charging for him, but I honestly, when I think about it more and more, I think it's to bother Katie. I think that's her real point. Like, now I've made it a mission to bother Katie because I know it bugs her so much. Like, I'm gonna make out with him now. Like, I think that's what she's going for. She keeps like putting herself right in Schwartz's vicinity, like, so, like, are we gonna get this going? Because I really need to bother Katie, you know? After this, we see them arriving in Mexico.
You're going to Mexico. Be sure and coordinate your outfit with Katie.
Look for my family, our friends. I get to show them us.
And of course, Katie's with all the crew arriving. It's kind of annoying, like, you were kicked out of this event, you didn't want to go to the tea party, it showed her like at her house angry, like an invitation was extended, but she chose not to go. But here she is arriving in Mexico with everybody, part of the festivities. But whatever, Katie, like, let's be like petty and pretend that you don't want to be around Sheena when like you love being around her. And Lala right away is like, dang, your room is so far from me. And Katie's like, yeah, it sucks. It's like, you're not there to hang out with Katie. You can walk as far as you need to her room, okay?
Mexico!
Schwartz never greets Katie this way, just saying.
Hey, Katie, you're allowed in here? Look great.
Mexico!
Oh my god, you're so far away. I don't like that. I mean, 1706, 3603. Yeah. So, doesn't sound nowhere near each other.
Lala, you're gonna be around Sheena because she's part of the wedding. So you want Katie in that vicinity too? Like, you just want it all, don't you? Sheena doesn't want Katie around. So you're like, sacrifice what Sheena wants because I want Katie next to me. We're all gonna be in the same group. No, it's fine. She can be moved. And Sheena, in fact, moved her. She can't be in the preferred area, and she moved her to the other tower. I love that Sheena was able to like claim her space and do that.
I had her move to a different tower and X'd off the preferred club list. Out of sight, out of mind.
Because she can't keep Katie from going. She can't keep Katie from attending all of her events, you know, by proxy, being just a couple feet away. She can't keep Katie from being around her all the time because Katie just wants to be there, But it's great that she was able to like claim her space and claim her moment and be like, no, you're not going to be in the same tower at least. If you're going to be in the hotel because you must be there, please don't be in the same tower. So I love that Sheena was able to do that and kind of like reach a compromise, you know? So Katie arrives, Ariana and Katie get told by Vanderpump that they got the space, so now they're celebrating and they're all happy.
Bye! Oh my god. Is this happening? Let us wait. It's a huge moment. Bust it out. Bust it out. Look at this. You have to. Oh, okay.
Katie had mentioned that she was going to be having an anniversary / closing their house dinner with Schwartz. And it's kind of like, okay, how many more dinners must you have together? But whatever. So Schwartz goes and tells Sheena, like, hey, just so you know, tonight I'm going to be having a little dinner with Katie. I hope that's cool. And in my opinion, Sheena was totally cool with it.
Since we just sold the house, I got to qualify tonight. I promised Katie we would go off and have like a little mini baller celebration at dinner tonight.
Tonight is the night we're just kind of like
Okay, but I'm here for you.
I appreciate that.
No,
don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, people are trying to read between the lines and be like, Sheena did not look cool. She was obviously annoyed, but she said, okay, whatever, it's fine. No, I believe it. I believe that she was like, dude, they're gonna hang out. I don't really care. Like, we just got here. Whatever. Do your thing with Katie, because the next couple days you better be hanging out with me, you know? So I think she was willing to sacrifice the one night. Katie had said about the anniversary, she's like, we should at least acknowledge it. No, it's not an anniversary anymore. It doesn't need to be acknowledged, okay? You don't need to have an anniversary meal. This is what you don't do anymore once you're broken up. No more celebrating your anniversary. But we're saying that you're celebrating the closing of your house. Okay, we can call it that, even though nobody celebrates that in the world. But I mean, you should just call it what it is, like a somber dinner, because we're just trying to stay close and we closed our house. Not a celebration of closing our house. This is not very celebratory, okay? You just want to do the anniversary thing and you're calling it the closing of our house celebration. We should at least acknowledge it. Actually, no, you shouldn't. You're divorced, Katie. This is the solution to everything. You're divorced, Katie. When they arrive in Mexico, James and Raquel have an awkward conversation. Like, James is like, I got a pool room. Raquel, did you get a pool room? It's like, why are you talking to her and even care what kind of room she got?
I have a pool connected to my room. Oh, Raquel, you don't have a pool?
It'll be our night. No.
Have you not stayed at a resort?
I also knew that you and Allie were gonna have a swim up.
So Sheena's obviously been telling Raquel everything, and Raquel's not afraid to flex her power.
So I didn't want to like,
Well,
invade your privacy. Invade my privacy. Could you imagine being next door to them? I'm sure they're like having a like banging on the wall.
Raquel obviously knows what it's like to room with James, and she was able to keep up with him for so many years. I've had a theory that Sandoval is a horn dog, but I think Raquel is just as much of a horn dog. Honestly, Allie's always telling James to stop, so I can't imagine it's that crazy in their room.
Like, oh my god. No.
She's like, no, I'm fine. I don't want to be around you and Allie. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, pool rooms are cool, yeah. And he's like being super like snobby and annoying. And I think James is starting to crack.
Gretchen Wieners had cracked.
Like, he's annoyed that she's hanging out with the friend group, like trying to lure all his friends to be her friends, one. And two, I think he's finally starting to feel the pain a little bit of this breakup. Because in the beginning, Raquel was crying over him, Raquel was into it, he was super nonchalant and did not care about her feelings, was totally over it, had a new girlfriend right away, and Raquel cried to Vanderpump in one of the beginning episodes, like still bothered by it, and then Raquel does this switch and says, I'm gonna do me, and from that moment on she became thirsty, she became a little crazy, okay? So after that moment, she officially got over it and started to like live her own life. And now James is like reverting and he's no longer over it and doing his own thing. Like everything revolves around Raquel at this point. Like he can't get her out of his head. Like none of these guys can, but literally he's like, Raquel, do you have this, like just chatting with her. It's like, dude, your girlfriend's right there. And then he's like, let's tongue kiss, no one's looking to his girlfriend. It's like, you obviously wish Raquel was looking. And they say that in a relationship, when you break up, a girl will be crying over it for the first 2 weeks, devastated, wanting to get back together. And then she'll get over it and she'll start to move on and she'll start to look for other people. Versus a man, but not in 2 weeks she'll get over it. I'm just saying, like, the first 2 weeks are the hardest. She's crying, she's devastated, so then she'll slowly get over it and start to date. That's how we feel it as women, they say. We feel the pain first, and then we're starting to move on. Versus men, they move on right away, they say. Like, the first 2 weeks, they're out there, like, I want to go to the club, I want to party, I want to get over this, and it seems as though they're feeling nothing. Like, the women's like, trying to text them, like, hey, I miss you, and the men are very strong at this point, like, oh, look at her texting me. But then after the 2 weeks, after the month of them being crazy and moving on, then they feel the pain. So they feel the pain later. Women were cry first, then move on. Men are move on and be cool and it seems like you're over it and then cry about it. So I think James is reaching this stage where he's feeling it now. He's feeling the breakup and he's gonna crack soon.
We gotta crack Gretchen Wieners. We crack Gretchen and then we crack the lock on Regina's whole dirty history.
Like, he's gonna reveal that he still has feelings for her. He's probably gonna cry about it soon. Like, she was crying in the beginning. Like, it all goes full circle. So he's starting to crack a little bit, I think.
Say crack again.
Crack.
So then it shows them, like, going into their rooms and they're like, oh, this is cool. I noticed that in Katie's room, I think there's one bed. So, like, it's a big king bed, obviously, and it's still a pretty big room, right? And everyone's checking out their rooms. They all think they're cool. James is like, oh, our room is way cooler than Raquel's. And the girlfriend's like, why do you keep bringing up Raquel? Like, because he's obviously into her. And in one of the confessionals, the girlfriend's like, why does he want me to go to this event so bad? Because Raquel's gonna be there. Like, she knows that he's still kind of into Raquel, but she continues to date him. Like, if you know you're a rebound, I guess maybe if you want to stick around long enough for it to become a real relationship, but most people don't want to be a rebound. So it kind of makes me think she's here for TV a little bit, like she doesn't care, because she obviously can tell he's still into Raquel. She's annoyed at this point in Mexico. She's like, why do you keep bringing her up?
This is sick! I thought, like, Raquel didn't want us to swim over.
What?
Oh, I thought a pool room was dumb, though.
We all know she's here. Let's just stop talking about her for like 5 seconds. Why do we even need to bring up Raquel?
I just wanted to point out, it looks like this suite has one bed.
Stop.
I'm dropping the book. I want to tongue kiss you. No one's watching. No one's watching. Why won't you?
I'm sure they're like having some like banging on the wall.
So, kind of funny. So anyways, they're all arriving in their rooms, they're checking them out, and I just find it really funny because Katie has one bed, and when you go look at all the different rooms people have, I'm pretty sure Sheena and Brock have one bed. They have like a whole huge suite, you know? And Ariana and Tom, their room is 2 beds.
This is perfect. There's so much room for activities. Let's take some time to meditate. Ooh, tropical.
2 beds.
2 beds.
He is my prisoner. Nothing else to get in the way of my quality time with Tom. I'm so excited. If you're good, we can push them together.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, I'll think about it. God, oh God, body slam.
Sandoval has said in an interview that he was trying to break up with Ariana during this time, but does it look like it? Even if he's only doing this for the camera, he's leading her on clearly.
God, oh God, body slam.
Kind of weird. Why did Ariana and Tom's room even have 2 beds? Like, people noticed this, and I saw a couple people, like, in some clips saying, like, they're like, it's so horrible. Ariana's trying to be there for him, because she is. She's like, maybe we could put the beds together if you're good. And she says, like, I just want to spend some quality time with Tom. So she's obviously invested in the relationship still and wanting to build and wanting to spend time with Tom. But nobody has mentioned the fact that why did they even have 2 beds to begin with? Who booked this room? And why is there double beds? Like, maybe they assumed they would be sharing the room with somebody and someone else would have the bed, or it was just a mistake and, you know, they got a suite, they meant to get a king bed, but it just ended up with doubles. I don't know, but I think it's so weird that they even booked 2 beds in the first place. Like, what are you guys, roommates? Like, why is there 2 beds in this room? Why was that arranged? How did that happen? Super weird. She's like, there's 2 beds, and Sandoval's like, yeah, like, it's like he doesn't care, like how he sounded all season, right? And she's like, maybe if you're good, I'll put the beds together. And he's like, oh, really? Like, doesn't seem that interested. And then he, like, picks her up and, like, puts her on the bed. And she's like, oh, like, body slam. And he's like, And it's so horrible and awful to watch. Why are you like slamming her on the bed and kissing her when you're not that into her anymore? You're hooking up with somebody else. You're not emotionally invested. Supposedly, my opinion, he was waiting till after the season wrapped, after the reunion, to break up with her, because he didn't want it to come out on the show. He didn't want to give Ariana this thing to deal with on the show. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna let everything play out. I don't want this to play out on the show, and I'll break up with her when we're not filming. I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted. So at this point, if you were hooking up with Raquel, you're not that invested in Ariana. I don't know if you're behaving for the camera now, like you're ready to, you have it planned that you're going to be leaving her after the reunion, or if this is just a fling you're having with Raquel and you haven't thought that seriously yet. But either way, you have already had a moment with Raquel. You're hooking up with Raquel. You're interested in Raquel. We can say that much. You like Raquel. So you're hooking up with Raquel. You are into her majorly. Probably more than your girl, because you're willing to cheat on your girl and you're not hooking up with your girl that much. So you don't deserve those beds to be connected, buddy, and you shouldn't be fighting for it, and you shouldn't be body slamming Ariana onto the bed and acting sexual with her if obviously you don't care about her. Like, that comes off so horrible that he would do that and be like, snuggling with her. Like, do you want your cake and eat it too? Like, what are you hoping for here, buddy? Because you shouldn't be fighting to get those beds joint, okay? You should be just like acting your normal self and not putting any extra effort into this. Or I don't know if you're just playing the part to look like a good boyfriend, kissing her and grabbing her because you know that's what the cameras want to see in a scene like that. Like, you guys are checking out your room, you guys snuggle and get in bed, so you're performing for the camera. I don't know why you're doing that. Maybe you're performing for Ariana to not let her know anything's up, not giving her any red flags. He's like, I'm into you, baby, like confirming that to her. But it's so shady and so messed up that you're like hugging her and snuggling with her and stuff. It's like, ew, you could have just acted normal, like, yeah, babe, maybe. That's it. You didn't need to go the extra mile. So that's really weird that that happened. And yeah, she's like, maybe we could put the beds together if you're good. And she says, oh, like, Sandoval is my prisoner this weekend. And it's super horrible because it's like, well, he low-key is your prisoner. Like, you think it's cute to say that, and it sounds cute if we didn't know what was going on. But judging by what's going on, it's like, he acts now like he was your prisoner. Like, oh, we weren't doing anything. It was horrible. And it's great that this is caught on film, because it's like, you could have been doing things together. Ariana was putting in effort. Ariana wanted to hook up with you. So don't cry that you guys weren't doing it at all later, and that's why you had to look for it somewhere else. Because simultaneously, she is saying, maybe we'll join the beds, and you are hooking up with Raquel. So you could have been getting it with your girlfriend. You just chose to look for it somewhere else. Okay? Just saying. So the episode ends. They're having like dinner together. Everybody comes down for a dinner, for like the welcoming dinner or whatever it is. And this is the dinner where Christina shows up. And Lala just casually is like, can we sit here? Is it okay if we sit here?
Great. I love that dress. That's so cute. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Okay, so Christina's just coming to wedding stuff? I'm so confused.
Is Lala considering Sheena's feelings at this moment? Certainly not. Not the way she was caring for Katie. She says later in an interview that she brought Christina to this dinner because she thought it was a dinner they were filming at. She didn't think it was intimate. But she seats Christina so close to Sheena that it's ill-mannered at best and insensitive to say the least.
Can we sit here?
Can we sit here?
Is this fine? Yeah, go ahead. It's fine.
Lala doesn't even ask if Christina can come. It's, can we sit here?
You can't sit with us! Christina Kelly is walking into my welcome dinner uninvited.
It's like, is it okay if Christina even comes? Because you didn't ask that. You're just saying, can we sit here? And Sheena's like, yeah, sure, great, Christina's here. And Christina's like playing, like just walking in, like, it's like, you were so mean to Sheena at her first wedding. You know why you're not allowed to be here, okay? But you still choose to walk in and be a member of what's going on. Why? Because you have nowhere to go, because Katie's busy. So she's part of this dinner, I guess. She shows up, they're eating together, and there's been a little bit of like a scandal because I guess James like pushed some guy that we didn't see on camera, so who cares? And Ariana's like kind of annoyed with James. James right away is like, Ariana, are you mad at me? What? Didn't you think that guy was being a jerk? And Ariana's like, I don't care. It was a shitty situation. And he's like, but I wasn't shitty. It wasn't me, right? And she's like, I just didn't want a fight to happen. And she keeps like saying like, stop, stop, stop. He just will not stop. Like, she is trying, you know, like she said like 2 passive remarks and James just keeps talking. He is pretty freaking annoying, you know? So anyways, I noticed too that as soon as they walk into the dinner, they're like, sorry we're a little late, and Sandoval and Ariana walk in together, and they're matching.
Supposedly, he's trying his best to break up with her, but you're making an effort to match with her? We know that was planned.
You're going to Mexico. Be sure and coordinate your outfit with Katie.
Hi!
Hey, Dumpling, you want to sit here?
Hi!
Hey, Dumpling, you want to sit here?
So guys, how we doing?
Well, I really want to go on the
Yep, that's me. I'm sure you're wondering how I got here. See that guy across the table from me? I'm sleeping with him, and I'm deceiving the girl right next to him, who's my best friend. She forgot what type of show we're filming.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
I know. It's just the whole thing was
It wasn't on my part. I had a look of scaredness on my face.
So that's kind of horrible that you're still matching with your girl while you're cheating on her. Great, you're taking the time to pick matching outfits while you're cheating on her. Awesome. And so they walk in. As soon as they walk in, okay, I just want to point out that Raquel is very excited. It's difficult to catch on camera, but I tried because I want to give you evidence. Raquel is so happy. They say, sorry, we're running late. Sandoval's like, can I sit here? Is this seat taken? They're like, hi, barely walking in, and Sheena's like about to like talk to them, not really paying attention, and Raquel's like this, like literally like so happy to see them, lights up when she sees them, and it shows her just a second before, and she's like looking around and stuff, but right when they walk in, engaged, focused, smiling. She's so excited that they got there. It's super annoying. Like, she's so annoying. Like, you can read her face. Like, even though she hides her behavior, and when you're paying attention to her, you can't tell, when it's shots that are like off shots of Raquel and things are happening, you can really, really tell what's happening on her face. Like, I don't think she's quite grasped, like, the camera situation. You're a big part of the show now, main cast now. You're basically in like every shot on the side or somewhere in there. You're important. You're not James's girlfriend anymore that's like not getting shot unless it's about you. You're in there now. So she is caught just smiling when they walk in, and they're matching, of course. So cute, so awful, so insensitive. You're matching a lightning bolt with one girl and outfits with another. Awful. Anyways, they walk in, and Sandoval's trying to break the ice. He's like, so, anyone have anything to talk about? And he's so annoying. And James is like, oh, that guy was being an asshole because he like had a little altercation with one of the guests, Brock's friends. The guy came up to him drunk and hugged him. James pushed him. It was a little moment. So he's like, oh, that was awkward, right? But James just keeps going on and on, like, I wasn't doing anything, it wasn't my fault, right, Ariana, right, and Ariana's like, I don't care, it was shitty, trying to ignore him.
James, what's that? That's one of Sheena's like wedding guys.
I should have Will Smith backhanded.
2 seconds after I sit down and being berated in a fight.
Tom, Ariana obviously thinks it's no big deal, and she's not saying it to everyone. Oh, what did you say to Tom? I'm not berating, I'm just asking you.
You've been very rude to me.
Your words carefully right now.
Don't talk to me like that.
Is that
And Sandoval, meanwhile, is sitting next to her, no response, not defending her, and it's like, dude, turn around and ignore the situation while this guy is arguing with your girlfriend? Interesting, because a couple weeks ago, when they were fighting with Raquel, you couldn't help but jump in there and fight. And first you started telling Katie what she is and what she does, and then it became you defending Raquel in front of Lala. And as soon as you started fighting Katie, Ariana left, couldn't deal with it. You didn't chase Ariana, you kept fighting. You fought for Raquel, still not going after Ariana. And when someone's going after Ariana now, James, fighting with your girl, why are you not so noble to step up and say something? And this is actually your girlfriend. Like, you can try to think about the situation in episode 7 and be like, you know what, he's just a very emotional person. He stands up for what he believes in. He has to mention a wrongdoing when he sees it. That's probably what he wanted to look like doing that. He probably felt justified, like, look it, I'm a kind person. I stand up for what's right. I'm standing up for the underdog. If you want to look like you were just so emotional and you speak your mind and you stand up for people, isn't it kind of out of your character to not step in right here and stand up for the one person you should care about the most? this is pretty interesting. If this is really how you are, and you were just so passionate, you're not passionate about Raquel, right? You're just a passionate person. Why are you not yelling at this situation when James is bothering your girlfriend? Ariana is clearly annoyed, and he's saying nothing. So I just find that pretty funny. Like, obviously, it's not your character. You're not always standing up for people. You're not, like, you can't help yourself. You were definitively, and you made a decision to defend Raquel. You felt so strongly that you defended Raquel, but you don't feel that strongly to defend Ariana here. That's what's going on, okay? You made the choice to defend Raquel, and you don't give a shit here. Awesome. You are such a shitty ass boyfriend, okay? You're a shitty ass dude, I'm just saying. And your behaviors are super obvious because I can see the way that you're respecting Raquel, and I can see the way that you don't care if someone respects Ariana, because you're not even respecting her. So yeah, he's like not defending her, James is bothering her, and Ariana's like, I don't care, I'm done. I didn't like you doing it, I didn't like him doing it, I'm done. And she yells, and I'm like, good for you, Ariana. Good for you.
I'm on the side of not wanting there to be a f***ing fight, period. Period. I don't like him doing it, I don't like you doing it, okay? I don't like him doing it, I don't like you doing it, okay? Period. I will raise my voice because when I talk at a normal volume, you don't listen to me. And I've had enough. We're done.
Loved that moment. I've never seen Ariana yell in all 10 seasons she's been on the show. I have never seen her get upset like this. So obviously she had reached her limit with this idiot. If Sandoval knows her well, dating her for the last 10 years, you would be able to tell that your girlfriend is starting to get heightened, starting to get annoyed, this idiot is starting to bug her, and you would step in and be caring. But no, he can't tell her behaviors, he can't tell that she's getting annoyed, she has to yell and defend herself. You're still not in there, you freaking idiot, because you don't give a shit. You're probably staring across the table making googly eyes at Raquel, who, by the way, is wearing a freaking hat when no one has a hat on.
You are always wearing these stupid hats.
Stop with the hats. Anyway, so she yells at him, and it's well deserved. And when she yells, it is like, you know, silence in the forest. Like, when she yells, no peep out of anybody. It's serious. Everybody knows she's serious, and it's freaking awesome that Ariana has that kind of power. Like, people know that she means it, okay? She's not a bitchy ass person. When she yells, it's like, it's gold. Everyone knows, like, okay, shut the fuck up, he's being an ass, leave her the fuck alone. Like, she's so real, you know? And I love that when she yells, it's like, it's just taken seriously. She doesn't always do that, you know? Like, Lala over here is like, don't get smart with me, James. I'll come over across this table and knock you out. When we know she's not going to do anything. She's always insulting people, that she's going to attack them, because that's what she loves to do. And she never attacks anybody. You just yell that you're going to attack people all the time. So guess what? When she said, oh, I'm going to jump across this table and get you, James was like, really? Really? You're going to do that? Because she does nothing all the time. But when Ariana yells at him and gives him a good scolding, he keeps his mouth shut because he knows that he did something wrong. And Allie, of course, the girlfriend, walks away. Raquel is reveling in this moment that he's so annoying. That's the end of the episode. It just shows Ariana yell at him, and we get a to be continued. It's been confirmed that in the reunion, there's like some physical fight situation going on, and they say it's somebody that you won't expect. So saying someone you won't expect makes me think that Schwartz is involved. He's the only one you wouldn't expect to fight. James has swings and gets crazy. I think James is personally involved. James and Schwartz, I'm thinking. But Sandoval is the one you would expect, right? He's the one fighting with people. He's the one that has an issue. And he's gotten aggressive before. He smacked Jax before. He smacked James before. So he is expected. So I think since it's someone you wouldn't expect, Sandoval's not in there. And since it's someone you wouldn't expect, Schwartz is in there. So if you join it together, can't be Sando, Schwartz is in there. Obviously, Schwartz and James. So that's everything. Thank you for watching. Bye!
Come on in. Come on in. Does it smell okay in here? I think you take a deep breath into it.
Hyacinths have the best smell.
Just something about her, man. Was it her smell? Was it her hair? No, it was her sandwiches.
Hey, what's up? Let's talk Vanderpump Rules. So I recently watched the reunion and I finally saw the name that Katie Maloney and Ariana have chosen to go with for their sandwich shop. So I got my initial reactions to the name, and let's just say I don't love it. It's a stupid name. Something about her meat.
It's almost like you're talking about in a personal way. So yeah, I actually liked it.
Katie Schwartz partnered with Sandoval instead of you.
It's not like we had a sandwich shop. It was just something that we were talking about doing in the future.
You just wanted to do something. You were bored.
Thing, you know?
Sooner rather than later.
Like Raquel said, Raquel has been talking like it is this season. What's up with the place? I have the greatest name, by the way. They decided to go with the name Something About Her. Immediately it made me think something about her meat. Is it something about her meat? Is that the something about her? Her meat? Like, it's just not that cute, you know? The idea, something about her, like, something about her sandwiches. Yeah, it's kind of cute in theory a little bit, but actually it's not that great, you know? Because when you're referring to something about her and it's actually in reference to deli meat, it kind of just pulls the cuteness right out of it, you know? So I actually have a better name, you know, a solution. I'm a woman of solutions. I'm not just saying this willy-nilly. I have a solution for them. I think the name that she should go with, personally, is Katie Maloney's Balonies. I mean, I don't know how nobody has said this before. I've heard recently that Katie Maloney is breaking up with Tom Schwartz. They're splitting. I guess she posted on her Instagram a picture and she's not wearing her ring. And she also liked a cryptic post that Kim Kardashian did regarding divorce and going your separate ways to find yourselves, and she was totally into that. So, I mean, I think it's true, and can I just say that means that her name is again Katie Maloney. She's not a Schwartz anymore. So, Maloney's Balonies, it's just a great name. I don't know how nobody has said this. Yes, I'm being funny, but I think Maloney's Balonies is pretty catchy, and it's better than Something About Her, because Something About Her, it's just super long to say too. Like, let's go eat Something About Her. Yeah, Something About Her sounds good. It's just, I don't love it. It's cute, but not for a sandwich shop. I just think Katie's a little bored and she wants to do something, so why not get that Maloney's Balonies going? I'm just saying. And I want to mention about Katie Maloney and Tom Schwartz splitting up. I want to say that I do believe this. I could see this coming. Even me, I could see this coming, because, you know, people want to say that, sure, we think the relationship was not great because we got to see the worst moments on TV. It's your relationship highlighted, like a relationship times 10 when it's actually being filmed for reality television. So we have to take it with a grain of salt, all the footage we've seen of them together. Like, imagine your relationship magnified so that the worst moments are the ones highlighted and are the ones that we all have seen, you know? But with that being said, if I want to compare my relationship supposedly to this relationship and I want to say, okay, it's just the worst moments being highlighted, are my relationship worst moments involving my significant other throwing a beer in my face? No. Are my worst relationship moments involving when I'm recently married, my boyfriend got blackout drunk and lost his way back to our room and ended up at a different resort making out with some random girl?
Yes, I made out with that chick.
And you didn't f her, right?
I did not.
No. Are my worst relationship moments involving my boyfriend saying that he is physically not attracted to me at all and that's why he cannot perform? No. Like, they have been so cruel to each other and they have just said things that are so harsh. They're just seeing when they get around to it with having a kid. It's like, dude, it's kind of obvious what's going on here. Like, also, my relationship, would I force my boyfriend to marry me through an ultimatum when he's not ready? No. And then would I be surprised that he's not ready for marriage? No. You forced him to get married to you. It was an ultimatum situation that he wasn't ready for, so I'm not surprised that he wasn't ready for this. You know, you can't force a guy to marry you, Katie Maloney.
It's a war, Vanderpump.
I'm done with her. I'm done with Katie. I'm not marrying her. I'm not.
So I'm not surprised that this is happening. They are nice people, or whatever you want to say. I'm not knocking them. And I want to say that I'm not against Katie, okay? I'm not Team Tom, and I'm not Team Katie either, because Tom, he never takes accountability for the things he does. He can be so cruel and lash out to her. He always acts like the innocent one. Nothing's ever his fault, never takes responsibility, yet he can lash out and be so mean when he wants to. He can just throw the meanest little digs in there, like, yeah, that's why I'm unattracted to you physically. You're disgusting.
Do not say that. I've never been more turned off in my life. That's why I don't have sex with her.
Like, the things he says to her, like, that is not a nice person right there. That is somebody that lashes out. He just likes to play like puppy dog sad boy.
God, that's horrible. Like, that's not true at all.
So I am not Team Tom, and as far as Katie, she is really cruel. She is always looking for something to complain about. They're both together, they brought out the worst sides of each other, so the split, not surprised.
Stop talking. Talk about how your dick doesn't work either.
Oh yeah, I think the most sad part about this whole thing is the things that they're losing, because they just know that the relationship is good based on convenience. They have the same set of friends, they live together, whatever, you know, she gets to be a part of Tom, she likes that. But I think the saddest part of all of this is the dogs, Gordo and Butter, I think they're named. I think that's really what's hurting Schwartz, is that who's gonna keep the dogs? It's probably gonna be Katie. So I think that's where Schwartz may be hesitant on ending the relationship, because of the animals, because, you know, they're so cute. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm sure that's gonna break Schwartz's heart. That's about the only thing that's gonna break Schwartz's heart. They've been ready for this breakup. I think Katie's been ready to get out there and do her thing and motorboat, you know, what she likes to do, motorboating ding-dongs apparently. So Katie's gonna be happy to be single, going out there with Lala, doing whatever. They might have even planned this, who knows, you know, Katie listens to whatever Lala tells her, so, you know, it's kind of funny that they're both single at the same time. Anyways, yeah, I think Schwartz is mostly going to be sad about his dogs, and that's basically it. I can also see Schwartz dating somebody that he is actually physically attracted to, and like having a successful relationship in the future. Like, I just don't think he just wasn't that into her. Something about her wasn't his type. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Bye. And please, Maloney's Baloney's, okay? Maloney's Baloney's. That's the one. At least name a sandwich that, I was on a vacation plan when it came to intimacy, but it's like, when you're under 30 or barely 30, you've only been married less than a year, and you're like barely being intimate with each other, that's a problem. Like, let's not rush into marriage and, you know, persist this relationship. Let's realize that there's issues here and slow it down. Just saying.
Investors now, we're working on a visual deck currently that should honestly be done today. And sent over to us. And then we can locations. Yes, a logo.
The last we heard, Randall was going to invest.
Yep, what happened to that?
That's not.
There's a line drawn in the sand. I don't think anybody would even take his phone call, let alone his money right now.
Okay.
You know, he offered $150,000.
Wasn't his money.
And what he then went and did was
ask a friend.
Approached one of Katie's friends that she was going to take 25 with his business partner.
I'm so confused.
So it's not like Randall was going to give the 150. He was borrowing from other people. Someone that Kate basically asked.
Well, wouldn't you have a say in which partners?
He didn't tell us that he was reaching out to someone that Katie's
Wouldn't tell us a lot of things, basically.
So we're going to leave it there.
Wait, but if he was investing with one of her friends, then can't they still use that friend and just get the other 25?
Having a...
Like, we just say, like, outlandish, mean shit that we don't mean.
Like, it's fucked up, and like, and it might hurt.
Okay, tiny dick, like, that's what I mean, like...
Okay, tiny dick, like, that's what I mean, like...
Ariana and Sheena were the ones that really embraced me.
You know, people thought that Raquel and I made out at Coachella. This is the actual guy who made out with Raquel.
You gotta build that heart up and swell it up, and then break it.
Hey, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about Vanderpump Rules. Stay tuned if you want to know my opinion. I was just thinking about it. If you want to say Raquel is like calculated, because if you think about it, like, she's become the main girl of the show. Like nobody else, except Charlie, but nobody else works at SUR anymore. It started off with these waitresses, Lisa Vanderpump's waitresses, and nobody else works there anymore. Like everybody else has moved on. So if you think about it, Raquel in the beginning is shown like taking shots in the back, secretly being late to her shift. Like she's the new main girl. You know what I mean? And like I think maybe like you might think, I'm an extension, I'm one off of the main cast. Like I'm James's ex-girlfriend now. I'm not part of the main crew. I'm once removed, like I'm James's ex. There's a chance that you might get booted off if you're not entertaining enough. You're not the main people, you know? So you think maybe having this little thing with Schwartz is gonna keep her relevant. If you're thinking about doing stuff for TV, like it's gonna keep you relevant. We're gonna keep talking about you, so that's a good thing that works for you. You don't like Katie that much anyway. It's not like you're losing something. Lala's always hated you. Katie and Lala are best friends. They do everything together. So it's like losing Katie and Lala to be relevant and hang out and flirt with Schwartz, it's not bad for the show. And you get to keep a main residency with the main cast because you're hooking up with one of the main guys. So, okay, fine, I can see that being calculated. Let me hang out with Schwartz a little, get myself relevant, be main part of the group on every episode, like a lot of scenes because they want to know what the hell I'm doing, you know? Now I have the restaurant scenes and I have the short scenes, you know, like I'm poppin'. So I can see that being for the show. But then you think about getting with Sandoval. How do I stay on the show? Like, well, I mean, I could hook up with one of the other main guys of the show. That will keep me going. Sandoval. But the thing is, wouldn't you think about it? Like, how are you going to stay in the group? Either you have to keep dating Sandoval and stay with him, but then the thing is, obviously everybody's going to get rid of Sandoval. They're going to be like, we don't want to deal with you. Like, Ariana's going to cut it with Sandoval. Then you have Katie, Lala, Ariana that don't want to deal with Sandoval. Like Schwartz is gonna have to pick a side, but like majority rules. Like basically you guys are gonna be isolated and kicked out of the group. Like this is not a way to keep climbing up the ladders and stay relevant. Like if you hook up with Sandoval, you two will be isolated out of the group, and there you go, you lost all your Jenga pieces. Like the tower fell. How are you gonna keep climbing, you know? So like it doesn't make sense to me. Like Ariana was your only friend.
With James plus Allie plus Peter, that's a lot. I'm actually gonna be under a lot of stress tonight. Just check in on me. Yeah, I will.
Why would you do something that's gonna make Ariana hate you and go on with the girls that hate you, and Sheena's gonna move on with them too, and you lost everything? You flew too close to the sun. If I were trying to think of this calculated and try to stay on the show, I'd rather hook up with Ariana. Because if you hook up with Ariana, she loves you, she's there for you. You hook up with her, she might come to bat even harder for you against the other girls because she really cares about you now. So you might gain her support even more. I would be trying to stay in that group and keep those people happy if it's TV related. I wouldn't go and hook up with Sandoval. What is that going to do for you? So it just makes me think like you're smart, you're thinking about what you're doing.
I mean, I don't know if she's going to the pool party this week at Tom Sandoval's or not.
I haven't heard about the pool party though.
Well, you're invited. Tom Sandoval told me.
Oh, he did.
Tom Sandoval told me.
And you're almost bragging to your ex. You would want to keep your relationship with Sandoval private. You want to keep the relationship secret, but you tell your ex, like you're rubbing it in his face or something.
Kick me out and bring Raquel in. That's weird.
I'm James Kennedy and I've been the life of this party for the past 18 years. I get bullshit.
So maybe this dating Sandoval is like, it's gonna bother James the most if I date Sandoval. So like this is why I'm going this way, because it does seem like she's trying to like bother James. Like I've had this feeling like she's almost trying to copy him and like go in his footsteps when she's like, James is doing his own thing, I need to start doing me. No, I think you're doing the James. Like you're having a crazy relationship with alcohol. I'm just saying, I think it's going to be a problem because she doesn't remember a lot of things she's done while she's drinking. Much like James.
So the other night at SUR, did you see her make out with Peter?
Yes!
I don't remember that. I'm dead serious.
Are you tipsy right now?
A little bit. Okay.
Why are you not tipsy? I know that you're drinking again.
I am drinking again, but I'm not like drinking it.
I think alcohol is going to prove to be a problem. She's running around reckless like James always does. She's moving on right away with people like James did.
Do you understand like how it has affected me emotionally knowing that you guys have kept this secret from me for years?
I'm not proud of it.
Like, I don't know. I just think she's doing things for James. And so dating Sandoval, maybe the reason that she's doing this is because it'll bother James the most. I don't know. Because why does she tell James, oh, I'm invited by Sandoval to get a rise? I don't know. Maybe it's all to hurt James. Or my boyfriend was saying, like, she's a fame whore. It looks like she just loves being on TV.
If she truly is a fame whore social climber, it is supported by her dating Nima from Shaws of Sunset before the show was canceled and trying to get with Garcelle's son from Beverly Hills, who we know is a social come-up. Is it a coincidence to go after Bravo celebrities and the son of a star?
She started off as a fan, so maybe everything she's doing, it is just to cause chaos and to be on TV, and she's not even thinking about what she's doing. And then the alcohol, which I said she may like have an alcoholism issue, maybe she's drinking so much on the show because she's trying to get liquid courage to perform the way she wants, the way she's performing every episode. Like, the things she's doing are performative. It's for the show to get talked about. She wants to be like controversial and be like the main girl they talk about. So maybe she is drinking a lot, looking like an alcoholic to get the courage to do these things on TV that will get her talked about, like Step Up to Lala, hooking up with Schwartz, like just the messy everything she's doing. It's all like for TV, and the drinking is fueling her to do this for TV, giving her the courage, you know? So I'm like, maybe that does kind of seem like that's what she's doing. Hooking up with Sandoval would be good for the show, I guess, but it's just like, what's gonna happen in your future next? Like, everybody hates you. I don't think it was the best way to go or like the best move to make. But then again, maybe it was. I mean, she's freaking viral now, so.
A part of me will always feel like Tom got away with something. I want you to see these text messages that she sent. Okay.
You gotta build that heart up and swell it up and then break it.
I still love the fact that I live with you.
Cheers.
You know, I gotta say, it's been pretty awesome living with you. There's not 1 second I ever regret it.
You know, people thought that Raquel and I made out at Coachella.
Me and Ariana were living together. I mean, that's still new.
This is the actual guy who made out with Raquel.
Out with the old and with the new.
What's it like out there? Is it a cornucopia of delicious dick? Do you understand like how it has affected me emotionally knowing that you guys have kept this secret from me for years?
I'm not proud of it.
I know who my true friends are.
Right.
Welcome to Sora. You're gonna regret it.